Good evening, everybody. If you're just popping on, glad to have you. So we're gonna get started here. Just a minute or so. Just posting my stuff up on the social medias. You know, gotta let people know that things are happening. Well, I can't let people know on the Eden Discord because I have not been whitelisted, so that's a problem. So let's see if I have permission to do that. Don't share a server with this guy. That's really funny. That's odd. Well then, alright. We will get started, I suppose. And I will work on getting that whitelisted feature in just a little bit. Alrighty, so first things first when we are getting on is, well actually you know what, we're going to skip that part maybe. Yeah, we're going to go straight to buffs, see how we do. So we are about halfway, well almost exactly, a little over halfway actually, to level 68 Beastmaster, and we're going to be trying to hit that, and I'm going to go over the details of this camp in a little bit, I suppose. But first we're going to make sure that our macros are set up, because I changed computers and they're a little different on this one, so I just want to make sure that I have a re-raise macro, because that's super important to make sure that I have. And I also need to make a post here. I think I have a gold hairpin +1, I believe, and I also have a back piece that gives me MP that I really do need. Yep, and that should give me a decent amount of MP. I also have, I believe it's a ring, mana ring, so let's go set that up too. And the reason I'm doing this is because typically Beastmaster with sub White Mage does not have enough MP to cast re-raise. It's costs 150 MP, and I typically only have 101 or so, 102, something like that. So I've got to boost it up in order to give myself the appropriate amount of MP so that I can cast re-raise. And it's just a precaution. It's not a total necessity, but I really don't want to be out here dying, so we're gonna let the HP tick up to full here. I really do believe those are the only two pieces. Oh, you know what, I have a Friar's Rope as well. I could let myself get a little extra MP with that. That's something I could add to my macro for later times. Equip Waist, Friar's Rope. Oh, I always hit an extra button when I do that because of the angle of my keyboard. Alright. So we've got MP here. We're going to cast re-raise, and then we're just going to turn our Ashita cast right back on because we don't care about, and we'll tick up because we have auto refresh from the sanction bonus. And these two spiders here are going to be my buddies. They're both even matched because I converted them prior to the stream, and they are going to be what helps me kill the targets, the target prey, which are going to be these puck that you see, these red little dragon puck. So they are very important. This guy gets stuck on that damn freaking hill all the time, and it's annoying when you're trying to do a chain. But we're just starting, so we're cutting them some slack. And we're going to get this rolling again. I'm doing this afternoon, so I had the time to sit here and convert pets and whatnot. So there we go. What we're going to do is we're always going to use sick and dia and engage. And I might be a little distant in the start here because I'm trying to get whitelisted for player announcements. I used to be able to post my stream stuff in the Discord. Huh, I was blocked by the recipient. Well, that's great. He's not accepting DMs apparently, so that's fun when the admin is not accepting DMs from people that are on the server. Probably some level of drama, I'm sure. But anyway, so there are 5 puck mobs that are in this area, and so we are going to be fighting them in a particular order, but and I'll show you what that is. So this first one here is being pulled from the north side, as you can see on the map. Alright, and that's because it gives us access to the other 2 that are in the distance there. And that's what we want. We want to make sure that we have some distance there. This is the strategy we're going to talk about a little bit later too. So there are some posts that say you can do this camp as Sub Ninja, which you absolutely can. I do not like it as Sub Ninja, and as we go on through the night, I'll sort of give my rationale for why we do certain things on Beastmaster over others. You know, I think a good many people don't really understand Beastmaster anyway, but they, like on a basic level, right? But Beastmaster has some really intricate little details, and I think every week I sort of talk about, you know, a detail here or there. And this time we're gonna talk about why this camp is sort of different than a lot of the other camps that we're talking about, because it's significantly different than some of the other camps, despite the fact that, hey, it's 5 mobs and that's what we need for chain 4, right? Well, that's true, but it goes a little deeper than that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get whitelisted on the server, but it is what it is. So we might have a really small crowd this evening because we're not able to actually promote on the server, Discord server for the Discord itself. Typically that is something that I do. Maybe a couple of the followers that we've gotten over the past few weeks will pop on and generate some chat and say hello and whatnot. I always look forward to that. Okay, so there's a few things. I'll probably mention this again in like an hour or 2, but there's a couple of things about this camp that make it tricky. So the first thing is our pets. They're not difficult to charm, but they do have some really nasty buffs. That if they hit you with them on a mischarm, like they're gonna have TP a lot of times. It's gonna suck real bad. So I worked on improving my charm set by about 4 extra charisma to do this camp, because I've been here since last level 66. And it was tough then, because these pucks are actually levels 67 to 68 to 70. So there was a time where I would fight, use level 66 pets, but sometimes the pucks would be level 70, and that's a 4 level difference. And that is just like really bad stuff when you're talking about Beastmaster. You want the battles to be a little more controllable, the level ranges to be 2 to 3, and when you start to extend out to the 4 range, that gets a little dicey. A lot of times that stuff, that particular level spread is reserved for goblins or bombs or snowballs, stuff that's going to explode. So you're not super concerned about, let's say, your accuracy against the mob or something like that. You're expecting the battle's going to last shorter than the mob's hit points, and you're sending a relatively weak target against your spider or your pet. You're sending your pet against a much stronger target. The pet is relatively much weaker. So now that we've 67, we're actually at the ideal level to do this camp. These spiders top out at level 67. They're 65 to 67. So 1 in 3 chance you get the spawn level you want. So throughout level ranges, they're not difficult to convert into what you want, since the level spread is so set and very narrow. You'll only ever see the only other smaller level spread than that is obviously 2. You'll see that a few mobs will have just a 2 level range, and that's it. I think that's few and far between. more often than not, they have a 4 level spread, and then on the outlier, like we did last week in Cadaver Mire, we had the Marshmoors, which had a 5 level spread. They were 64 to 68. So that made that camp a little tougher. Because I opted to use one of the birds there as a pet, and converting that pet into the level that I wanted was not fun. I will say I probably got lucky. Just it only had to do it like 3 times or whatever conversion before I got it to where I wanted it. I've certainly had a tougher time even out here at this camp today. So I'm happy that it went my way. Let's put it that way. Alright, so I'm getting Blink up. So the reason for the Sub Ninja craze here at this camp, and a lot of Beastmasters and the older guys were saying, oh, you should go /Beast, and it's just like a better thing at this camp and whatever. I decided I didn't want to do that because I didn't feel that, first of all, /Ninja was more advantageous than Sub-White Mage here. And the big reason for that is Zephyr Mantle is the first one in terms of why I would want it for... we need to move this guy back a little bit more, and I will show you why later. But, so the Prey, they use Zephyr Mantle, which is, it gives them like 8 to 10 Shadow Blinks, and the only way to remove that is within a week. So, if it was 2 or 3, I wouldn't care, but it wasn't. It's a significant amount of blinks. So I thought, you know what, it's probably easier to, it's a Sub-White Mage for this, because Diaga is just 12 MP. I have auto refresh. Right now I'm sitting at capped auto refresh MP anyway. So I'm always going to have 12 MP to burn. And I can cast, and then in terms of the Prey, what I said before, if you miss Charm a Spider, it's going to have charged TP. So it's going to hit you with Poison Spray, which is like 18, 20 damage it takes, something like that. And you have Poison if you Sub-White Mage, and if you get hit with the Spider Cell, you have a raise. So I have both of those on my bar for that exact reason. And Blink, it basically does the job of Butsu Semi. For 20 MP, has the duration of 5 minutes. This is what it's for right here, Wind Shear. So Wind Shear would normally knock you back, but it will take 1 to 2 blinks. So if you have that, if you get to a Wind Shear, you just recast Blink, just like you would recast Butsu Semi. And the casting time is pretty much the same, so there's really nothing exciting about casting Blink. And that's pretty much that. So this is supposed to be a chain 3, and this is here's Zephyr Mantle. So we're gonna just throw a Diaga at it, and that's it. We've dealt with the problem. If you're sub ninja, you cannot deal with that problem. You know, you're gonna sit there and your spider is gonna hit blinks. You're gonna hit blinks, and it's not guaranteed. You know, it's like mage blink. You know, you may hit a blink, you may hit the mob itself, but you know, if you rampage as it's casting Zephyr Mantle, you're gonna hate yourself. So I felt sub white mage was just a better sort of overall choice for this camp than going sub ninja. It didn't really make a lot of sense. I'm like, what am I gonna get? I'm gonna get an extra weapon, and I'm gonna get, let's see, here's Zephyr Mantle. I'm gonna cast Diaga again, and we're gonna just wipe it out. So I wanted the puck to be on me there because the spider was getting a little low on health there. So I didn't really like that. Spiders, you can pretty much release them anywhere before those rocks, or anywhere before the tree that is all the way to the south here. And I will admit, getting this chain 4 is a little tough because of the terrain here. You know, these spiders are going to hit terrain. Pucks have a lot of health. For me, they have a lot of health. You know, for an XP party, it's not a lot of health, but for me, it's a lot of health. They can pop 3 levels higher than me, and if you don't get a sickle slash or acid spray, like I'm getting right now, it's hard to push the additional damage for the chain because of the distance between the prey, from the pets to the prey. Like I have to run back, I have to preserve a spider, you know. So just the whole exchange, the typical Beastmaster exchange, it's a lot of distance in between. It doesn't look like a lot, but if you're trying to get the chain 4 off a puck that's, you know, let's say way off in the distance by those sort of 3 rocks over there, you're going to have to do it perfectly, and your spider can't get stuck on terrain, and you can't guarantee that that's going to be the case. So the other thing that really slows you down, you know, Zephyr Mantle is does not slow you down because of Diaga, and you can see Diaga's spread here. And we'll talk about why that's a problem later. But Obfuscate can be a badly timed Obfuscate can be a problem. I've seen it use Obfuscate right before my sick is about to happen, and it's blanked out a sickle slash. So that really sucks because you're losing like 10%, 15% of the HP damage. So that's like, you know, you're talking that's like 5 to 6 rounds of melee for you, you know. Just nixed out because of a timely weapon skill. And you're not going to like save sick. You know, you're going to use it the moment you engage because you want to get the timer ticking down so you can use it once per battle. Crosswind, it really does not do a lot of damage, so that's great. We're on chain 4. There we go, we got it. And again, you can release them right here. So that's that. So we're in between chains, so what we're going to do is we're going to blink. We're going to make sure we always have blink up. Not for Crosswind, because Crosswind is single target pushback to the spider, but for the other one that it uses. And that one, it's a small AoE. Alright, so see, now he's stuck on terrain, so now we gotta deal with that. I just forgot what the name of that ability is. I don't know why. Wind shear. It's like a small AoE pushback. But again, blink, 1 or 2 blinks will usually hit it, and you'll see a miss pop up. And neither of those moves does a lot of damage. It's really Zephyr Mantle is the sort of big one in terms of reducing your DPS significantly on these battles. So you just keep 20 MP. Just keep 20 MP for blink. This really does almost no damage. It's like 60 to like 160 or so, like maybe 180. I've never really seen it do more than like 180. That's it. It's not a, you know, it's not a thrilling camp. But again, it's in Treasure's area, and Treasure's areas have that little 15% XP bonus, so it's really nice. So now we'll talk about some of the sort of nuances of this camp. All right, since you know the basic stuff here, now we got to make sure Diaga's not going to be talking. That's one of the nuances here. When you position the battles in this particular camp, you're dealing with a couple of things. Number one, these worker bees that are behind me. Two, the pucks that are all around. And you don't care about spider slow hitting mobs because apparently that doesn't aggro them on the server. But Diaga absolutely will, and that can be a problem. So you got to be careful about that. But acid spray is a frontal, so you want to make sure that you're in a, you're not fighting things too close to the. Usually the bees over there are a problem. The other thing is these pucks aggro both sight and sound, and it says that they link, but I gotta tell you, I think they link by sound, and I think that sound range is pretty tiny. Or no, I think they link by sight. I'm sorry. And again, that sight range is very, very tiny. So we're running into an issue where we don't have reward up in time. So we're gonna blow a second sick on this particular puck because he is a high level puck. And we're early in the chain. Yeah, he's 230, so he was a level 70. And we're okay with that, because as long as we don't get, even if we get a back-to-back, we're not like crazy worried about not having sick up for the DPS or something. So yeah, you got to be careful with acid spray. You got to be careful with Diaga, and you got to be careful about links. So there's a lot of little things to worry about. Including the bees that are behind me. You gotta be careful with those bees. You do not want to get those bees involved. And I'm thankful that I haven't actually gotten the bees involved in my battle yet. So at some point during the night, I may end up trying to do this puck as a chain 4, and he is far away. So you can see he's all the way here on the south side of this camp. Pets are over on the north side, past the Phaedros here. So that's going to be, it'll be a rough call every time. And sometimes what I just decide to do is just grab one of the two pucks that's paired up and just take a risk on link. And I've only gotten a link once, and I am not even sure it was a link, because I kind of ran in and it may have just been a straight aggro. I don't know. So our positioning's good for Diaga. So we're going to make sure we fire that off, get rid of this million blinks that the puck puts on himself. That's it. We're just going to roll through this camp tonight and try to get the level that we need. Ooh, excuse me. Trying to hit the mic off, but I suck, so sorry guys. So level 68 is a pretty big level. Right now I'm wearing 3 pieces of AF just because I do sufficient amounts of damage without needing to worry about like, oh, I need the best of the best or something. That was a huge single slash. 956. Anyway, so that's why you don't want to get hit with single slash. And our sick timer is still way off, but that's okay. We're gonna be able to use it as kind of an XP chain timer right now. Now the thing with these spiders is you kind of want to keep them in a lane so that you can always charm the second one, the other one, without worrying about aggro from the first one. And that's just something that I've gotten used to. Like, I run through the bees as close to the soldier as I can to make sure that spider runs straight forward towards where he normally spawns from. And that's worked a lot. Occasionally the spider will like try to cross his path, but that's like a small chance that he'll actually turn in that specific direction. For the most part, it's been good, and you want to do that because you want to be able to release, let the other one walk directly towards where its general spawn area is, and then grab the other one, and even if it mischarms, the first one you left, the one you just leave on won't aggro. So you kind of look at it like a 2-lane highway. At least that's how I view it in my mind. People conceptualize how they look at Beastmaster camps a lot different. I like to think of them as both as like a 2D highway, kind of back and forth lanes, and then also like a bird's eye view situation. And I can think of all the camps that I've done. It's like kind of an overhead bird's eye view kind of thing. And that helps visualize sort of the positions of the mobs and you know, what order you want to pull them in, what direction you want to pull them from. All those things are really, really important. And they're hard to capture in one comprehensive guide without being too wordy, I guess. You know? We got another big 6 slash here. 318. That's not that big, but it's big enough. I should also mention that these 2 spiders over here are part of my zoo, but they're not converted. So in the event, this will be a little pushback. That made my thing well. I had them converted at one point, and I think someone had run through the camp here because they became DC. So I don't know. I haven't bothered with them. Now they are backup of the backup. The only time I've had to go for that backup zoo over there, those 2 spiders, is in a battle where my spider uses a spider slow and the puck uses Zephyr Mantle, and I can't diag it because my positioning is terrible. So I worked on that a lot. Or if it uses Crosswind and for some reason it does a lot more damage than I'm typically anticipating. So it's happened like twice ever. And those conditions can be minimized. So that's what I worked on. I worked on minimizing conditions where I might have to see. Now if they linked by sound, this would link right here. This is where it would happen, right? Because I just pulled that particular puck right next to that other one, and it didn't aggro. So I think it's by sight, and I think the sight range is pretty tiny. We're gonna get our sig timer back on track here. Pretty close anyway. These battles last approximately 2 minutes. A little bit more, a little bit less. Now we're not too concerned about acid spray hitting anybody. We're going to do a Diaga check. This has been a pretty good spot, this wall here. None of the bees are in the range, so we're okay with that. I think actually the secondary zoo got used also when there was an obfuscate on a sickle slash. So right there, see how that happened? It missed. So now I wasted a sickle slash because I was obfuscated. And you know, obfuscate went off before he hit 1,000 TP, so it's nothing you can really do about that. It's just luck of the draw. These guys have 4 weapon skills, spiders have 3. And when those 2 things, you know, 1 in 4 by 1 in 3 chance, I mean, that's a 1 in 12 time that actually is going to happen. So we like to keep Dia up on these pucks for a couple of reasons. Sometimes I have to let the pets go a little early, and that's another reason to not fight them somewhere where when you leave, they won't just walk over. You don't want them to despawn. So right now, I know that this tree over here, it's in my right above my name there, the tall tree. If I bring the spider past that tree, it will depop, guaranteed. But here, it will not depop. It will be okay. So that's why I'm fighting right where I'm at. I'm fighting, and I'm gonna bring that other puck. It's gonna be right over. So when I release this spider, his lane now is straight ahead. He's gonna walk through the bees, and I'm gonna be able to go up the hill and grab the other spider, and then send him across to fight the puck. So this way, we don't get any aggro or anything if we mischarge. Well, I mean, I'll get aggro from the spider, right? But so I'm gonna release him. He's gonna walk straight up. We got this bee. The bee is fine. We'll tell the bee to stay. Walk away from the bee. Leave the bee. So the puck found me, which is fine, because that's okay. That's okay with me. But what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to bring the puck up here a little bit because Diaga. So I'm really okay with what just happened. He ate my blanks. We dealt with a little bit of a soldier problem. It's funny, I never aggroed that soldier before. Just then, so that's fun. Alright, we got an acid spray. That's cool. We're going to cast blink. Oh, we already started casting blink. Very good. It's muscle memory at this point. So we're going to want to catch up here a little bit. Push back. And you know, using reward is a tough gauge because on these particular battles, these pucks have an insanely fast attack speed. It's like 200 delay. It's like a dagger. It's very quick. And there's gonna be battles where you wish you had 2 rewards, but in order to do that, you got to use the first reward kind of like right away. Almost when the spider's gonna be like maybe 88%, 86%, something like that. So you get the sort of maximum heal effect while also getting the cooldown timer started as quick as possible. And that's a challenge. That's a big challenge. So much of the time you're not gonna be able to do any of that, and you're just gonna have to sort of, I don't know, deal with it. You know, you're gonna have one good reward, and that's all you're gonna get. So you want to make sure that if your pet's gonna die, you want to be able to just tell him to leave, and this way he'll start walking back, and maybe he'll get a tick, and you can grab him again. See, that puck following me actually helped the chain 4 there. So we've gotten 2 chain 4s in a row. We're doing alright. So now I want to go to the second puck, the farthest puck rather, the one that's all the way over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spider through the bees. He's not going to get stuck in any terrain, and he's about as far east as he gets. So I'm gonna let myself just fight him right there. Normally I'd pull him back off this hill like I did last round, but those other pucks, they don't come over here. They kind of stay behind that wall. But when he's on the wall, which he does get to, there's a risk of getting sound aggro, I think. I've never done it, but just based on like the viewing of the view field, like it looks like, oh yeah, I would definitely aggro if I did that. Much like fighting the second puck in his spawn right down here below this little hill, well, it has aggro this puck for me. So there's some linkage problems that you want to avoid if you're going to do this game. And my personal experience is that I think this is probably the best. This is the best camp to come from 66 to 69. I think it's going to be slow at 68 to 69 because some of these pucks are going to be even match. But it's so hard to get out of Treasures of Ergon's areas once you have that 15% sanction bonus for XP. Very difficult. You know, that's not even to mention the refresh to 70% bonus, or regen if you sub ninja, or the extended food duration if you want to roll with that. You know? Like, I think if I was sub ninja, I'd probably use that more than anything. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough to go back to conquest areas when you're getting crystals, which is like, okay, I like crystals and all, but I have a mule with like 100 stacks of crystals, like maxed out bank at this point. I don't need more crystals. I'm just selling them, and 500 to 800 gil is not. It's not exactly a freaking treasure haul or anything. I might make an exception for areas where I'm farming something that is relatively expensive. But if you can find a camp, again, that is not in these areas where the money you make is kind of better than the XP you get or whatever. I mean, it's abstract, because if you need money, you need money, you know. The camp just before this, I was using these Addercops to fight Addercops. This is a match mob situation. See, I'm past the tree, so if I let him go, he's going to disappear, so I gotta walk him over. But I can let him go right here, and he will walk back through his lane to where he wants. See how he made that turn? He wants to go directly back to his spawn. which doesn't cross over with this adder coop. So I'm going to let him go a little farther before I attempt the charm. And I'm going to try to grab him. There we go. So the first puck here is up. So we're kind of just rotating between these 3 pucks. When we move really fast, we're going to grab that 4th puck in the middle and just have fun with him. But only if we can do it without any kind of risk to ourselves and our pet. Because we don't want to lose. We don't want to lose a pet. We don't want to get aggro. Because if we get aggro, we might have to lose the pet by leaving it and charming the puck, and then having the puck fight the puck and logging out. And if we do that, you know, that could just lead to trouble. So we don't want that. We want this to be nice and smooth and by the numbers. And it sounds boring, but I guess to some people they find it boring. Alright, so he used Blink while I used Blink. Now I'm going to diagonal because I don't want my spider to just get nulled. Almost interrupted my Blink cast, but it moved right back to where I was standing. Not on purpose either, it was just a sort of reaction, I guess. And that's it. So we're going to do this for probably the next 2 hours. As you can see, if you can see the very, very bottom of my screen, I'm getting 4,900 or so per hour. That is what this camp puts out. It puts out right around 5K. When I was using the XP band, I was able to get, I think it was pretty close to 9K, 8,500 something, 8,600. But without it, it's almost a flat 5K every single hour, and that's you know, not exerting myself in any way, you know, just doing the camp as intended and making sure to keep Dia up and deogging the mobs and all that other stuff. I don't like having to use a lot of reward at this stage. I feel like if I have to use reward, oh, I lost them. I was about to use it right there too. So I'll show you how we make up for that. I'm glad I actually made a mistake because I'm not infallible. I'm playing a lot of Beastmaster, but you know, we all make mistakes. I can't afford to miss though. That kind of sucks. There we go. So what we do is when we screw up, we have 2 choices. All right, we can, first of all, it's always going to happen once every 10 minutes at best. So we always have our Divine Seal up. I'm going to make sure we get our Blink up. We can, you know, if the mob repops as EM, we're not super concerned. We're just going to continue on as we were doing. If he pops as a DC, then we will use that pet, and we will try to get the pet to die, so that it can respawn. That's pretty much the whole trick to it. I mean, there's not a lot of science behind it, but we do want to make the best of our pet. The other thing you can do if you are frustrated with it is, and you really don't want to fight without the best possible pet level, is you can just convert it, you know, and go AFK for 5 minutes. But I don't have that luxury tonight since we're on the stream. Sometimes I've done that where I'm just like, you know, I'll use this time to sort of take a break. I'll come back and check the mob and see if I can get him converted to EM before I restart. But in this case, I'm going to, now I gotta make sure I protect this guy a lot. I should have used reward last battle. I wasn't expecting it to use a weapon skill, and it crosswind for more than 6% of its health, so that sucked. And I was hitting reward right there too, but the mob had already taken the damage before the animation goes off. Wind shears will knock off my Blink. Shears are doing a little more damage than usual. They don't typically do like 300 damage. Are we dealing with a certain day of the week or something? No, we're not. So I'd like to cast Blink again, but here's the problem. If I cast Blink again, I'm going to be out of the battle for like 5 seconds. And I've already blown my reward, so right now we need to tip the battle in our favor, and right now we are 10% There's about a 10% disparity that we're really fighting against here, and it doesn't look like we're making up too much ground. So we need to just continue to melee and do our best. And if we need to use reward again in 20 seconds, we will. I have a strong feeling we got 2 level 70s in a row here, and that may be part of the problem. The last one was level 69, actually. We were just really sloppy about tending to our pet games. Alright, we're at a 2% difference now, so that's much, much better. We like to see the swing happen somewhere in the 40s, but when it happens sub 20, we'll take it, you know? Here we go, we're now 5% up, but if our spider misses, we're in trouble. Yep, he missed. So now we're at a problem where if he uses a weapon skill, we will die. Alright, so we're gonna leave him be. We're on chain 2, so we're gonna use the time here. That was a level 70 though. We're gonna use the time to get a regen up. We know we don't have another spider over in this area, so we're gonna have to pull one of these guys from the middle using one of the extras from the zoo. We're not gonna really have a choice on which one we pull, and we're not gonna be able to select a spider that we want if it's a specific level. So I don't know if this DC is level 66 or level 65. It can go either way, and that kind of crapshoot is never a healthy thing when you're talking about Beastmaster. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a chance getting this guy. Oh boy. Now this spider is DC, alright, this pet of mine. So I don't care where I fight this mob, and I do not care if he dies. So if he doesn't die, what I'm going to do is I'm going to despawn him anyway. So we'd be lucky if we get chain 2 with all the movement we just had to do, but let's see how it goes. We do not have blink up, and based on the matchup I'm seeing here, we may not be able to get it up. So, oh, we got a Sickle Slash, right? That's great. That helps us out a lot. We only got a 13% difference, and at this stage, that's okay. That's okay. We're comfortable with that. Food's wearing off soon too. Some of this little management stuff that we gotta sort of take care of here. 30 seconds on food. We might actually get out the rest of the battle out of this, but let's see. Alright. It's not terrible. I'm still gonna blow this Zattertop up no matter what, because I don't want him to I want him to try to respawn into EM, you know? Like, so there's that. And I don't know that my D actually hit him, but it doesn't matter because I'm passing Diaga anyway. That got rid of those blinks. And there's our food effect wearing off. So now we've got a pretty huge gap in health. And again, I don't care if he dies, but I need him at the very least to get this mob's HP down below like 20% for me. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to pull that off. So that is a problem. Let's give him a biscuit. Alright, so we got a respawn. Let's see, our respawn is DC, so we're going to have to get him killed too. We're going to have to use him next, I guess. Alright. That's what it is. We didn't have time to put up Blink, so there it is. And we've got the close mob respawn, so if we got chain 3... Oh, he didn't want to despawn from there. I guess that's okay. But we're going to have to get started on this guy, because we want to get that chain 4. That extra chain bonus makes it all worth it. It's also kind of a skill thing, you know, like, if you can get chain 4 with consistency, you're doing the camp the right way. And it tells you that you're doing the camp the right way. Alright, so we got it again. We don't know if this guy is, our pet is 65 or 66 because he's DC. Because we lost him We lost him 5 minutes ago to a really silly mistake that we should not have made. But it looks like, based on the damage he's doing, he's probably only one level below me, which is alright. We're still going to try to get him killed if we can. It's still going to be a thing. So we're Diagging to get rid of Zephyromantle. We're going to cast Blink ourselves, because we want to... We just need to slow down our DPS a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to give my guy a reward so I can regen myself. A lot of this is just buying time. It's just buying time. You know, I'm buying seconds of time, rounds of time, so the HP change just helps a little bit with a little extra cushion. Makes it a little more comfortable. The problem is we're doing it on chain 4. We don't want to do stuff like that on chain 4. We want to do that, you know, early on in the chain, before 3 preferably. But things didn't go so well last battle. We got pulled aggro. We pulled aggro this battle. We had to move the mob around a lot. It's a real pain in the butt. And with these DC, the biggest problem with using the pets that are so much lower, like than you at the level or 2, is freaking their accuracy. So this guy's missed 3 times in a row now, and I've had to cast the Diagging twice. And so there he goes. He missed again. So this is a problem because my guy's HP is going down and the mob's HP is staying static. You know, only my little chip damage is really doing anything, and that is, to me, a problem. Let's see if we can push Shane forward to sickle. Can we get a sickle? Alright, we got an acid spray. That's actually still really good, because acid spray is super strong. We're not going to get this guy killed. We didn't get our chain 4 either, so that's disappointing. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get this guy despawned. We don't really care about him. I don't like this spider. I don't like you, spider. And you don't like me. So we're going to use this time that we have, since we screwed up the chain royally, to just despawn him. In order to do that, you need to drag him pretty much up here, behind this tree, leave. And then what we can do, if we want to, is on the way back over, since we're walking that way anyway, we can grab another spider here, and we can see if we can just convert him, you know. So in the meantime, he's respawning, and maybe he'll respawn at a level that we need him to be, or would like him to be, or would prefer him to be, or however you want to, you know, think about it. So we're gonna have to walk past these trees. I believe is where he will despawn. So I think once he clicks in over here, he should disappear. There he goes. Alright, so we're gonna take this EM Addercop, and we're gonna go. And we'll probably keep chain even though we did all that stuff. But well, if we didn't, you know what? We're not gonna lose sleep over it, because it's not worth it. This guy's got TP, so I want to make sure he's close before I have him use it. Oh, I don't have it up anyway. 4 more seconds. We're in a pretty good spot. We're going to do a Diagging check really quick. I think we're good. Yep. Let's see what we get. Sickle Slash. And he missed. It's awesome. It's my freaking favorite when he misses Sickle Slash. Diagging check, so we know we can cast it. We got rid of all the blinkies. See you later, Blink. That's really the only way to handle this. It's unfortunate Ninja does not have even 1 AoE, otherwise you could sub it, and I would more than gladly blow a Ninja tool on something AoE like that. You know, it doesn't happen that frequently. And it would just open you up for some options here, but you know, like I was talking about before, I think the debuffs that the spiders can potentially put on you, and Wind Shear really being the only thing that you even need to have Blink up for, just makes sub White Mage better, in my opinion. Having Dia is nice. I don't, you know, even for just the pulling aspect of it, I just prefer it, I think. So this Addercop is taking a lot of damage. And I'm not happy about that. do a little bit more damage here. And so this is where gear becomes sort of an issue. I mean, even if I'm only doing like 2 to 3 more damage on average, like if I'm doing, you know, 5,000 swings in a given evening, it adds up, I suppose. And, level 68 is a great level for War Dark Beast because they get access to the Hauberk set, which is a thick gear. And so I'll be looking to have someone make that for me next level when I dig. Which is still a ways away, but I'll get there sooner or later. We really don't want to lose this damn spider. We're getting some really high level ones, I think, here. Yeah, that was another level 70 right there. And that's the highest level that they spawn at. So when they spawn at that level, these battles are hard. They're hard, and to get a number of them in a row changes not only just the speed of the chain, the amount of reward that you're using. When I was here earlier, sort of setting the camp up, and I did a few chains really quick, I found I was just getting a lot of like good levels, like 68s and 60 and 69s. So I wasn't getting a lot of 70s, and the XP per hour was a little better, tiny bit better. This Addercop's trying to punk me, right? He's like moving away from me. He's like, no, it's cool, man. Alright, so this puck and this puck are next to each other. And I don't know what to think of that, so. Again, I don't know what their link mechanic is. I feel like it's sight. So I'm just gonna kind of wait, because they move a lot. They move often. And these guys will only, if you fight, they'll unstick from wherever the hell they were. But just having heal, if you just tell them to heal, they really don't. So it's annoying. Alright, so this is a DC spider again. If he dies, he dies. I don't care. And that will sort of dictate, you know, how careful I am about protecting him. Which, you know, maybe I give him a reward, maybe I won't. But let's see. It's already 14% difference in health right now. Some of that's because I was casting Blink, I'll admit. Oh, see, he's using Obfuscate right as he's using Sickle Slash, and that Sickle Slash missed, and I don't know if Blind was on or not before that, but that shit sucks, man. It really, really sucks when that happens. Because that could have been the difference maker. That could be the difference. That could save me from using a reward right there, you know? And now I have to watch this other puck over here, make sure he doesn't fly up here, because he does. He'll aggro you up here on the hill, so. Right now this is danger zone. I could move back a little bit, but you know what? If the pet gets a link, I don't care. Because I'm going to grab the puck. Yeah, I don't want him to aggro me though. If he's going to aggro anything, I want him to link aggro. I don't want him to aggro me. Looks like he's heading the other way now. This is good. This is a good sign that the pet might die, which is what I want right now. I'm gonna let this thing get taken down as slow as possible. I wish you'd get taken down a little lower though. Don't miss, Mr. Spider. You missed. Of course he did, because I said not to. He missed his last 2 melee hits. Oh, he got another chance. Alright, he made up for it. So that's good. That's exactly what I wanted right there. Because now that one will despawn, or respawn. Did we get our guy back? No, he respawned as DC, so that's just how it goes. We're going to try to get him killed too. And this is what you do. You got to work with it. If you make a mistake, you're going to have to pay for it. But you're still going to get XP. It's just going to be slightly slower because the pet is that much lower level. Just that 1 or 2 levels really does matter a lot. So you can take some time to convert, like I was doing, running back and forth. during the chain, or you know, you work with it. And right now I'm kind of working with it. So this spider seems to be 1 level below me based on his damage, and this puck is only 1 level higher than me. So this is only a 2 level disparity. It's not bad. I still want the pet to get killed, but that doesn't mean I'm going to leave, you know, Zephyr Mantle up or anything like that. I'm going to have to fight his hardest. See what happens. Yeah, level spread stuff. You know, like I let one of my spiders die because I was talking and I wasn't using the ward. So I've already used probably more biscuits on the stream than I did for the last 10,000 XP. So I have to, I don't know, get better luck on RNG. I have to keep D up more often. There's a few little adjustments that I can make. It's a little harder to talk and play than just, you know, focus on playing on my laptop or whatever. The amount of TP you get before a mob is 20% can kind of be a good tell of the level too. So this one's, yeah, it's about 1 level higher. You know, when if a mob is like really high level, sometimes you're getting TP like well before 30% or 40% because you're just hitting it a lot. It's got so much more health. I need my spider to duke it out just a little longer, unfortunately. So I'm gonna reward him, but I don't want to. Let's see. I might have the puck. I'm gonna have the puck taken down a little bit farther. But I do want. All right, wind shear is good because it'll do damage to him. I'm gonna blink it out. All right, I'm gonna have the adequate heal. And when he dies, I'm gonna rampage this thing. All right, there we go. So now that thing will respawn, hopefully as an EM. We've still got our mainstay spider back here. He's an even match, so we're gonna want to get him in his lane, avoid the trees here, grab him at a distance, and start running. And we're gonna try to see if we can get chain 4 on this puck over here, which we should be able to do. If the puck would come a little farther, yes, perfect. That's what we want. How do you reward? It's a job ability. You need to have, it's right here. You got it level 12. And you need to have a pet food equipped. So you can use an Ishida cast macro, or you can just put it in your macro if you want. And every 12 levels or so, there's a new biscuit. It's exactly every 12 levels. So 12 is alpha, beta is 28, gamma is 36, delta is 48. And then zeta is 60 and epsilon is 72. How much do I reward? You mean like how often do I use it? So we have to Diago this. How often do I use it? Well, like if a mob is, I was stating earlier that like when I came here at 66 and I was fighting with a 66 pet and against some level 70 pucks because they pop 68 to 70, there's a 4 level difference. In that case, you basically have to use 2 rewards, but you have to see how fast your guy is going to take the damage. So we got another Zephyr Mantle. If the puck, if your pet's taking like 10% in 2 hits, then you have to reward right away, and then you have to use it again right when it's up. Against the ones that are 1 and 2 levels higher, not that much. You know, you might use it. It depends on the mob weapon skills. You know, if your guy gets a really strong weapon skill, like in this case Sickle Slash, it doesn't miss and it does like 500 damage. That's basically just saved you from having to use a reward that battle. You know, so your mob's weapon skill selection is a factor in whether you reward, and praise weapon skill is a factor as well. So we got to change 4 there also. You know, you can also just say, hey, I'm going to use reward every battle, you know, but you'd be wasting money at that point. Biscuits are not cheap. These are 2,200 a stack. So you got to think, you know, every time I'm using this, I'm using like 180 gil or whatever, like into this thing, and you know, that's not always sustainable if you're not, you know, farming a lot of money or whatever. I tend to be a little more liberal with reward on the stream than I typically would, just because I want to be able to XP faster. And I'm also like paying less attention, I guess, to be fair. So yeah, if you're sloppy, then reward is, you know, your savior or whatever. Oh, hold on, don't do that. Again, I don't know how these link, but I think it's by sight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch targets, kill the one I should be killing anyway. But we're on chain. We just finished chain 4, so we're not concerned about timing here. And in fact, what I think I'm gonna do, I was gonna try to side aggro him. But yeah, you know, reward is, it's a function of paying attention, basically. You know, if I don't see a Zephyr Mantle because I've looked at my second screen or something like that, and my guy's been hitting blinks for 8 attacks, like, chances are the health difference is wildly different now, and I need to worry about it. So now in this case, we're seeing how, like, right now it's 64 to 90. That wasn't a good spread, so I had to use a reward there. And I think some of that is my spider is missing a bit. Yeah, he missed twice there. And the puck only missed once, so. Oh, and he made up for it with a slow, which actually isn't bad. I find that the spider slow is, it's better against the higher level spreads than the lower level spreads, because slowing down those attacks from the mobs that are way higher level is just more effective than the lower mobs. So Dia's off, so let's recast Dia. So Dia, when you're fighting one that's one above you or so, Dia will always wear off about 50% of the way through the battle. Here it was 62. So this mob is 2 levels higher than me, and I think the XP will dictate that for sure. But this one is level 69. And the issue with it is, so now we're gonna have to reward again. And that means we're gonna have to wait 20 seconds. And we don't want to lose this spider here. It's a big problem. So what we might have to do is pull hate. Because our only other option is pulling hate on the spider here. And seeing if we can buy time for reward. Alright. We know that we've got, we've got stuff we can do. I was really hoping for a damaging weapon skill there. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. Alright, so the spider took hate back. That's great. Let's get in there. See if we can sync up a little bit. Wind shear really sucks because I don't have time to get blink on. So we're going to have to divine seal after this battle. Oh, it's looking at us now. Oh boy. So this has gone awry big time. So here's our problem. If we're going to despawn the spider, I think, and that's an issue for me. No, he came from the other side, so we have to get this cure off. If we don't get this cure off, we're going to die. And the thing is, these things attack really fast. So, there's our cure. Now we have to get a hit in so we can rampage it again. There we go. Right. So this one was actually level 70. Yeah, it started to really turn up the damage there at the end. Alright, so our spider respawn is a DC. That's real bad. We don't want that. But there's a couple things we need to do. We need to get regen up. And we cannot afford to use the DC for this battle, so we're going to go with the EM. And I'm going to put a blink on too, because we're going to need all of that stuff up. We don't have a lot of health, but we're going to make it back. And we're just going to continue to make XP while we do that. We're not concerned about dying. As long as we have blink up, and we're using our best possible pet, we are okay. So he got stuck, which really sucks. back. He's got TP also, which is good. Hopefully he'll land a Sickle Slash. Nope. Spiderweb. Wants to use a 2300 TP Spiderweb. The same potency, buddy. Alright, so now the name of the game here is basically all my MP for the next couple of rounds is going to go into Regen. So Regen's about to wear off. We got 15 MP. Oh, see, now we can't Regen. We're going to have to use our MP to cast Diaga. Because doing damage is a priority over survival in this case. We're not going to get hit if we do what we're supposed to do. The worst thing that could happen is he uses Wind Shear. And I also have, and I don't have an MP to get Blink back out, because then it will be like, oh, I used Regen to get all this HP back, but then it just got nixed out by Wind Shear because Blink fell. So if he doesn't use it twice in a row, that would be good. We also need to stop casting spells so we can actually get TP, because that's important too. Now the homeostasis of Beastmaster is very easily disrupted when you're trying to cast Regen on yourself constantly. Reward is the only sort of release valve to that whole situation, so I just used it. The other thing that gets you sometimes is you cast, you'll have Blink up or whatever, and for 5 minutes, and the mob never bothers to blow it by using an AoE, and then the moment it wears off, it uses an AoE, and it's just kind of like, oh, really? At some point, we also need to get a Protect, but that's really low on our priority list. We need to make sure that this spider survives the battle. It looks like Sick is just coming back up, so we should have Chain here. Let's see who's Chain in this. Good. And while we have the time, we're going to get Regen up. When we don't have the time, but we will make the time. Alright. So the only bad thing that could really happen is a Mischarm here, but this was a DC, so certainly less of a chance of a Mischarm. I don't like that the puck is moving that way. That is not a thing I like, but that's okay, because I'm going to pull him right out of there anyway. Get him over here. There we go. Just don't want him to take too much damage, because I need him to do okay. I need him to do damage. Get this thing below 20 for me. Alright. Blink is still up, Regen's still up. We're recovering over time, and that's what we do to stay alive. Single target. Sickle Slash at 329, that's not too bad. I'm going to save my reward, I think, for a little, so it's a little clearer. Alright, it's pretty clear right now that this guy's not going to last the battle. His accuracy is not terrible. 1, 2, yeah, he's only missed 3 times. It's not bad. I really cannot afford to miss. But there we go. Yep, oh boy. So this is going to be another situation where it's very, very difficult to handle. Yeah, we've got a huge disparity here in health, and it's a big issue. So I'm going to try to pull hate here. It's not going to work. So I'm going to let this guy go. I'm going to let him get a tick. See how he went up to 21? I'm going to bring him back into the battle. This is just like an interesting little trick that I noticed too. I had to use the Rampage first because I didn't want to lose my TP from that light staff swap. But I'm still okay with this guy dying. I'm going to release him, let him get a tick of health, then bring him back. Okay. And Yeah, we're having a bit of a tough time here with this guy. This DC is 2 levels below me, and this puck is way above me, so he's gonna be a big 270, 260 or something like that on the chain. We gotta get this thing down to like 1%. Well, I wanted to kill the spider, but I want the spider to... there he goes. Alright, good. Be amazed if I kept chain here. I did, yeah. He was a level 70 also, so that was a level 66 or 65 versus a 70. So you can see right there that is not an easy battle. You know, that's a 2 reward battle, but if he just doesn't do enough damage with Sickle Slash or something, it's rough. And that's why you don't want your pets to die, because once you get them to EM, you want them to stay as EM. I'm going to cast Regen while the spider is starting the battle here. We don't have sick because we had to use it. That's okay. Let's hop in here. We know that this is our nice strong spider. And we're going to try to use him and get a blink up at the very least. We're doing alright. I wonder what happened to my re-raise. Did I use my re-raise? Did it wear off already? There's no way. Oh no, it did. I've been live an hour and 11 minutes. So yeah, re-raise wore off, which would have been real bad. Get Diaga up here. There we go. That deals with that. Alright, so Sick came up. Should we use it? Acid spray is really good. Does a decent amount of base damage and poison dot. It's really good. See if we can get Regen up here. Since I'm only 1 hit away from a rampage now. Poison effect is off. I think the difference in health is good. Good enough that we didn't need to use a reward this battle. We didn't see too many crazy criticals and stuff like that. Zephyr Mantle though. That is frustrating. I don't think I'll hit those pucks. No? I thought I did there for a second though. That puck started coming towards me. Oh man. Thought I hit him. Alright. So chain 4 is probably DOA. I don't see how I'm going to get another pet from the other side zoo and still manage. But we're gonna pull for it. Maybe one of these guys spawned as EM? Neither of them did, so. Once again, we are fighting with a Gimp pet. And that's if he wants to charm, which he doesn't. So this extra 10 seconds here is painful. Very painful. Alright. Let's see. We'll fight on. We gotta heal at this angle because, and I know this because, oh, he didn't even hit the freaking puck. What the hell? Come on. Alright, there we go. Now he's coming up. Yeah, no, this is done. This is not really good, this James Bond. Unless this thing is a freaking play toy, you know, 1 level above, and the spider's only 1 below. But even then, like, that seems harsh. Nope, this is a really tough puck. Oh boy. Yeah, when I'm doing 50 damage to these things, it's bad. I should be doing like, you know, closer to 60 on average. but I almost prefer acid spray. Even though the base damage isn't always very good. Like, Sickle Slash just straight up misses sometimes. And I find it's only really good at higher TP. You know, most of the time these guys are dinging right to okay from having Sick charged in, and you know, they're doing like 300 and 400 damage Sickle Slash. Sometimes 550 or so. So, you know, it almost makes a case for saving TP, but then they do like a, you know, spider web, and you're just like, oh, what a waste. You know, I could have charged up just to 1000 TP. Spider web is the same potency. So let's see. If this spider dies, I'm not freaking out, but it can't die already. He's got to stop missing. So I'm gonna end up having to use a biscuit here, and I really gotta take inventory on pet food because I'm already down to 2 stacks. I came out here with 4. I used a few earlier before the stream, but this is particularly bad. We may just have to take a break to convert mobs because the thing about this camp is, you know, there's the adder cops, they cap out at level signal. Really, Spiderweb? Come on, man. You need to give me some better shit than that. That's frustrating as hell. Come back. So now we're gonna have to sort of game this again, where we use the same damn thing, same spider over and over and over again. He's holding all the hate for the mob, is the thing. The moment he comes uncharmed, he gains 20%. But this is annoying. We don't want to do this. We really don't. And we're losing TP every time we do it. I don't know why. We can't just hit the damn thing. And if I ever mischarm the spider, it's mega bad. Alrighty, we're gonna let the spider die this time. We don't care. We got enough out of him. What we really want is just our 2 spiders to be back. So yeah, that was a level 70. Alright, so we got our even matched spiders back. Hooray! Alright, so because we've been having kind of a rough time of it tonight, what we're going to do is we are going to get MP, and we're going to get our re-raise back up, and then we're going to tick MP back up, we're going to cast our buffs, and then we're going to go back to our regular melee set now that we've got our 2 spider zoo back set up again. You know, so that took, I think it was 3 deaths of that DC spider, so it was like a ton of a 20-minute delay, and we managed to stay at 4,500 XP per hour, which isn't bad, but we basically lost 500 XP per hour. Again, not terrible, but you're talking, that's about 2 to 3 less kills in 60 minutes, right? So just over the course of the next hour, you're talking about losing 1,000 XP, 1,500 XP, and so that penalty really rolls. You know, when you're talking about being at a camp for like 5-6 hours already, to add an additional hour is just, it's crazy, you know, to think about it. Because over the course of time, you're going to lose 3 to 4K, and that's a whole hour's worth of XP. It sort of compounds the issue, so you want to make sure you're always fighting at your best. So what we're going to do is we're going to unload watch XP, and we're going to load watch XP because we want to make sure we get an accurate reading on our XP per hour. And we're taking a little bit of a break here, so put on our MP set, which is what we put on, and we're just letting ourselves tick up to full, and we're gonna cast re-raise on ourselves. And now what I've learned, to be able to sort of maximize my my time with things, I cast protect because I can afford that, but then I've got to sit back down to cast everything else. So not going to need that much MP to get Blink up. My food's also down, so I need to remember to pop that when I engage. So, I mean, if we get, if we get 1 tick here, we're... you know what? We go for 2 ticks because we can cast a Regena. Because we still haven't hit max HP in a while. And while that's not a huge priority, it would be nice. It would just be nice. Alright, so we got Regen, let's get Blink back up. Alright, Mr. Spider, welcome back to the party. We missed you a great deal. Let's see if we can grab a puck from down here. Of course, the spider's probably stuck, right? Yeah, of course he is. He's stuck. Oh, boy. That's frustrating. Really frustrating. He's gonna get stuck in this tree also while he's at it? Why not, right? We had good timing before, and now our timing is way off. And I don't know if he's gonna get a link or not. Let's see if I can sort of navigate this pull, because he's going to follow me, and I want to get him up here. There we go. That's good. And food. Don't forget food. Very good. And we're back. Alright. Back at it. We've got 2 strong spiders. We have to make sure they survive. We have to keep an eye on our food supply. That is important. And let's take a timing right now. It is 9:28. So if we maintain the original estimate of getting 5k per hour-ish, then we should be looking at dinging right around 11:30. So if we pick around that long, cool. If not, I will get it. Unless I die, I will get it. Pretty sure I'm gonna get it. But I'm glad you guys are here. We got 6 viewers tonight. That's cool. I think the most I ever had on the stream was 19, according to my Streamlabs report. But I'm glad to have more than just 1. So that's cool. Heck, I'm glad to have more than 0. I'm glad you're all here. Whether you're into Final Fantasy or you're just coming to watch and support, that's cool, man. Appreciate that. I tell you, I can't wait to get to level 68. I'm going to spend probably a couple $100K making this thick gear. But I feel like it's going to be worth it. It's going to be really good stuff. Every piece of mine is going to have accuracy on it. Every piece is going to have attack on it. We're not going to risk using this pet again. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, leveling beast, man. You know what? It's the best thing ever. You can pick it up, you can put it down whenever you feel like it. I think that's such a huge advantage in a game where everything is party-based. Every single thing, just to be able to say, today I'm going to relax and do this thing that doesn't require me to find 5 other people of mixed reputation, let's say, and mixed ability. Just come in and just have fun, do your own thing. 5k an hour is not great. No XP party would be happy with that. Maybe the Dunes you would. But you do it by yourself, and it's very empowering. Let's see if I can get him to run without being stuck here. He did. He went. Alright, now come back up like the last guy did. Ah, cool, man. Alright, let's get right back into the swing of this. I kind of wish I had an XP band, but I blew it getting from 66 to 67. actually from 65 to 66 because the spiders fighting each other was just kind of awful. I came sub White Mage, and so I knew that, you know, the spiders were going to have poison, they were going to have AoE slow, they were going to have Sick Slash, and the battles were okay, and I like the way the camp is actually set up. It reminds me of something in Crawler's Nest. You know, just like these two spiders are together in a pair, the two over by that Ameritat are in a pair, as you can see, and then the two by the rock over there are also in a pair. And then there's two more pairs, so you convert one spider in each pair to the level you're at, and you kill the other one. And it's that easy. So at 65, you use an EM pet to kill a 66 or a 67 spider in every pair. If you miss charm, you will get a, you know, both of them run after you, whatever, if team's not up. But the XP was really, really simple. Getting Chain 4 wasn't very tough at all, except when you had to do the run from the very last pair to the first pair again. So that was really, really challenging. But past that, you know, being able to just turn around this camp and say, all right, now the spiders are my pets, and I'm fighting these pucks, was a big change. But the spider felt like a grind. Having to cast a race on myself almost every battle just was so, it was just such a hassle. So I decided to just, let's move on. Let's use the spiders as only pets and not prey. And that has been a much better experience. So we're getting some high level pucks here. These ones, they are high level, and it's causing us to use a biscuit almost every battle. So yeah, that may be a limiting factor here tonight. We may have to go back to town at some point to get more pet food. I don't really want to do that. But hey, it might be a thing I have to do. Alright, well I got aggroed, so right now I'm just going to make it stay where I want it to stay. This is where I want to fight it, right here. And I got initial aggro for there. It used slow. Alright, so a couple things I need to do this battle. I need to get Blink up. And if the HP difference is favorable, I will also need to get Regen up. Good on my Dialga here. I think I'm doing 60 damage a hit, so I'm thinking I'm going to try to get Regen in here. Because I'm going to need to cast Regen probably 3 times to get my HP back up. You want to save Divine Seal before those emergencies. It's not worth it to just blow it just because you want to race your HP back to, you know, to max. Like at any point in time, a battle can go wrong. You know, your Sickle Slash misses. This thing uses Wind Shear 2 or 3 times. You know, you're in the red. Then you realize you're pulling hate. Thing turns around, crosswinds you, you die. It hasn't happened to me, but it's come pretty close. About 25 minutes ago, maybe 30 minutes ago, you saw it happen. It was a doozy. So this battle is just, again, gotten way out of hand here. We are getting some really powerful pucks here. We're getting level 70s like crazy tonight. And a lot of times those are requiring us to use 2 biscuits. And we've only got those 2 stacks left, so... Yep. We've only got, well, 1 3/4 stacks left now, so there's no delivery service out here. Yeah, this is a level 71 again, so we're going to use a sick twice at 40%. Oh man, Spiderweb is not what I wanted. That is not what the doctor was trying to order here. Reward in 30, 40, that's never going to happen. So we need to figure out what we're doing here. We need to pull hate at some point. But not too soon. I'm definitely not showing Obfuscate. Rampage is not going to hit that thing. Alright. That crit just turned it around for us. Big time. Alright, so we're going to let the spider go. Go back to where he lives. Got chain 3 there. Yeah, there's another big one. See, 299. So these last 3 have actually been level 70, it looks like. Because we started at 230, and then we got like a 2 something, and then we got a 299. So yeah, that's a high rolling puck XP, but it's dangerous because it's taxing the pets, and there will be times where you move fast enough through things, but also slow enough through mobs that these guys won't be fully healed when you go back to grab the other one. And that's a scary prospect because you need them to have full HP. Ideally, you need them to have full HP. I mean, you don't want to enter with your pet at like 88. You know, it already starts you off in a bad side. We had to use sick twice last battle, so we're gonna have it a little earlier this battle, but not right at the start. Crosswind. Okay. Yeah. As you can see, that this chain brought my XP per hour up to 7k. Shot it up real high because it's way above average. That sickle slash was beautiful. 843. Take a picture of that one. That's great. That did a great job. Following it up with Obfuscate is great. Oh yeah, when you get leave, man, holy shit, this game totally changes for Beastmaster. You get to control your camp so much better. Like, before that, you just have to deal with whatever the RNG gods give you. We might actually get a chain 4 because of that huge sickle slash. Huge sickle slash. There it is, chain 4, 257. So this one was a level 69. So we had a big XP chain there. The XP hour is up to 8k per hour. That's not going to stay that way, but it illustrates you can get chain 4 at level 67 here, fighting level 70 mobs almost exclusively. So just keep that in mind. Of course, this thing missed charm right as my blink is blinking to wear off, right? So maybe I should let blink wear off. Okay. It decided it didn't want to hit my blink and wanted to hit me, which is fine. So we're starting a new chain. We're just going to jump right into it because we don't have anything to worry about, really. We do want to get blink back up. We do want to get a little HP, but those things are a lower priority than getting XP per hour at this point. So let's see what we got here. We've got a pretty good start, so let's get blink up. Oh yeah, 10 minutes on tame is too much. It's really long. And it's really not that great. I mean, it's okay. It won't prevent, like, every single link from coming after you if you charm something in a big pack. It'll just prevent that one. And sometimes the mobs don't run away far enough, and the one that you tame just relinks anyway. So, I don't know. It's kind of lame. Tame is lame. I mean, oftentimes, I'm sort of banking on a miss, even if I miss charm, because I'm running in a direction where I'm like, alright, the next prey is this way. So even if I miss charm, it's okay, because at least the mob's following me. And then tame stops the mob dead in its tracks. And I'm like, oh, right, tame. Maybe I should just remove that from my macro, but the times that it has saved me are probably worth it. Yeah. But it's manageable. Sometimes it's manageable. It's not always manageable. I think I did like a 3 or 4 mob charm chain and release on stream a couple weeks ago. It just shows you, like, it's possible to survive really stupid scenarios as Beastmaster if you know what you're doing. So this guy can go home. When we have a little bit of time at the start of the chain here, we'll get a regen up. Grab our other spiders since we're only doing these 2, because that's all we need. I really don't want him to come up here, but I can't run through the Meritat. I have to run up the hill and then back down the hill. around the stone. Yeah, we may end up having... Oh, damn it, I used reward by accident. That sucks. I did not want to do that. No, don't do it. Don't do it. This is bad. What am I down to? 16 biscuits now? Alright. It's not terrible. And that other one that lives here is going to spawn any second now, so... I mean... We're going to have to keep running. And hope we don't get a link. Yeah, there's the other one that just spawned there. Alright. We are okay. So we know where our next one is. That's that one there. We pulled this one from the middle as an extra because we're killing a little fast, which is great. It's great. Just I'm used to cycling just between the three. And at level 66, that's pretty much all you could do. It was hard to get a fourth because by the time you got to that fourth mob, the other ones respawned. So there really was no potential at all to get a fourth mob. Maybe one time I did because it was all like low levels, like level 68s across the board. But it might be a bit more regular this time around, depending. We really did have that nice clutch sickle slash in that last chain 4. That really made the XP soar for a minute there. Oh, I'm not watching any hockey games. It's a pun on puck, actually. Sometimes people get it, sometimes they don't. But I up until a couple of years ago, I was a huge New York Rangers fan. I never missed a game. And then work just got so busy, it's been hard to keep up with watching the games. Well, we welcome Canadians and Americans alike on this channel. Alright, that's a good one right there. There's our chain 1. Alright, so I was talking about before, let's get this guy in his lane. Watch him, he's gonna walk straight back to where he wants to go. As long as you guide him. And then you hope that once he passes this other spider, you can try to charm it. Even if it mischarms, it's not going to try to kill you. We know our second target is right here. So, let's do it. Oh, he spawned. Oh, that other one spawned really, really close. So, he's taking the long way around the scenic route over here. So this will be good. This position's good right here. He's opening with a sickle slash for 20% of its health. 718. Look at this. This is beautiful. If we can get sickle slashes for 700, 800 damage every time, this XP per hour would be probably close to like 7, 8k without an XP band. We can't rely on that. And again, I'd almost prefer, I think I would prefer to see like, the poison sprays do 300 to 400 and then apply their poison, because the damage of the poison is crazy. So I mean, you can watch the pug's HP melt when the poison's on. It's a lot. 20 damage per tick is like, almost 20 damage per tick is a lot. But it looks like we're going to hit chain 2 pretty easy here. Alright, we're going to get rid of this upper mantle with Diaga. Make sure that we're always spaced out so that our Diaga doesn't hit anything but the mob we're trying to target. First I thought, I was playing this camp earlier today and yesterday, and I thought, I know this is the camp I'm going to end up streaming tonight. It's probably less interesting than some of the other camps that I've done. So, as you can see, this XP chain is completely the opposite of the last XP chain. XP was hard fought last chain. This chain, we're looking at, sub 200 on a lot of these kills. Not just... Oh, I'm getting sickle slash. Nope, he's not sickle slashing me because I was too far. Oh boy. Well, the sucky thing about that is my mob just lost all his TP. The good thing about it is I didn't get sickle slashed. So, you know, there was some good and there was some bad in that news. Is he stuck? Is he stuck? Where'd he get stuck? He got stuck in the same place he always gets stuck. I hate taking this back mob up this little hill. I always forget that he gets stuck here. He's easy to get unstuck, but it's just annoying. Alright. Go, buddy, go! You don't have TP anymore, which sucks, but go anyway. Alright, come back up the hill now. Don't get stuck. Here's the sick for when you decide to use spider web instead of sickle slash. Because that's inevitably what's going to happen. Alright, let's get Blink up. Yeah, I played on Beast on retail a long time ago. Probably, I'd say 15 years ago. Beast was like my third or maybe my third or fourth level 75 on retail. And I played it just like this. I did it all solo until like just at the end of level 74. I joined up with a friend and I got my last like 12, 15k, something like that, 75. Just because he was a good friend of mine and he wanted to be there when I dinged. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll duo. You know, you get to a point where you're like, I know I can solo this all the way to 75. It's just a matter of time rather than skill. But I just feel like this time around I want to do it purely solo. And certainly I've been in some parties like ancient papyrus farming and stuff like that, and you know, gotten a couple of 1,000 XP or 2 here and there, but I've certainly died and home pointed enough to make up for that. So I believe I would say that I'm still, that every XP that I've actually earned towards 75 has been purely solo, because I've only ever joined parties for those LB1, LB2, and that's pretty much it. I haven't done anything else in a party. I took a friend to a skillet party last week in Boston, and I was getting like 20 XP per kill, and we were there for maybe like 45 minutes. So I don't really count that either, because that was barely like 1,000 XP. So this is an all solo job, and that's kind of my, I guess I want to say my claim to fame here on Eden. I've also created a Beastmaster guide, and I added videos to it today on a spreadsheet of all the best XP camps to level here at the because the mob placements are somewhat different than the past retail guides would suggest, and it's not a one-to-one match. So I'm putting a lot of work into that, and every camp that I've ever done from level 13 or 14 until now has includes those things in it. The levels, the XP camps that I specifically did. I don't know which mob I'm actually killing right now. Where's my second guy? I don't know where he is. I thought that my other guy was going to pop there, but he's not there. So I'm a little concerned now. Did I kill him in a wrong way? I want to get a regen up, I guess. Yeah, I played 11 till the salvage ban, so I did get hit with the salvage ban. I got one piece of gear from salvage, and I was at a point in the game where I wasn't that interested in it. My interest was kind of waning in it. I'd completed an Aegis not too long, maybe like a year or two before the salvage bans, maybe longer than that, I don't know. 2005, 2006, I think I had an Aegis, and I was working on an X-Scout, and I was about 22, 24, something like that, 100 pieces away, but the fire wasn't there for me in the game anymore. I was barely logging on. I was a leader of a very prestigious endgame link shell for a long, long time, and I think I was just burnt out. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of MMOs that really appealed to me. I had checked out WoW briefly. I was looking at some of the Korean MMOs since they tended to be a little grindier, and I wanted something that was a big time sink. But I never found anything, and for years I sort of wandered in various spaces, MMO spaces and otherwise, and here I am years later. I thought I got rid of that with Diaga. Now I can't cast Diaga again. Here I am years later, playing on a private server. Just for the fun of it, I guess. I might have to use a reward here, so I don't want my guy to die. I could have saved it, but it was too close to call, so I didn't want to do that. All right, buddy, you can go. I did a couple of the MMOs I played following my years at 11. I played Ion for a little while, about a year and a half or so. I was a big raider on there too. Had a pretty good group. I don't know. It wasn't the same, but I certainly learned that MMOs could have a really nice modern design. You know, could have public sales channels and all these sort of like amenities that a game like Final Fantasy XI and EverQuest didn't have. And I played EverQuest prior to 11 for I don't know, about a year, I guess, but off and on. I wasn't big on it, but I certainly enjoyed it. I played multi-user dungeons for a number of years as well, and I developed for one as well. Those are text-based MMOs, if anyone knows what those are. MUDs, a long time ago. Some of them go by mushes, some of them are muxes, but they're all multi-user experiences or dungeons. Those were a lot of fun. I'm big into CRPGs. I like the Baldur's Gate series. I like Icewind Dale. I liked Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. I was actually playing 2 before I got hooked into this. I enjoyed the Divinity Original Sin series. I enjoyed Tides of Numenera. Was a pretty good one. I enjoyed that a lot. So games like that I'm into. And I really haven't played an MMO in. Well, I played Final Fantasy XIV until about January of 2017, but even before that, the flyer was long gone. So. I would say I haven't really played an MMORPG in over 3 years or so. And when I heard about Eden starting up and it was going to be classic type server, I said to myself, you know what, I'm gonna check it out. See if the old addiction is still there. And, yeah, it's there. It's there. I've probably put in like at least an hour a day on Final Fantasy. There's some exception. Like yesterday I didn't really play much, but. Maybe, I don't even know if I logged on yesterday, actually. Maybe I did for like an hour or so. Most days, the weekends, I'm putting in like 3 to 4 hours, at least. And a lot of it's just Beastmaster, so, occasionally I'll see a shout for a quest and I'll go and do them. I did get Prometheans all done, so I do have Blue Face and Metal Axis, which is sweet. That took a while to get. But I'm glad I got there because I really dislike Prometheans. I think they are some of the worst designed quests ever in this game. I did not think they were well balanced. I did not think that they were fun in any way, shape, or form. Cool. So I pulled the puck incidentally, which is fine. As long as I don't mischarm the spider again, I should be okay. And the spider used its TP on me to poison me, which sucks. So twice in a row, I've accidentally lost my own spider's TP because of a mischarm, which doesn't make me happy, but it's hard to be sad too. Yeah, Baldur's Gate was great. I was actually going to play the Enhanced Editions, but I ended up getting into Tides of Numenera instead. And that is a really strange format of CRPG. just a complete like sort of departure from the sort of classic tactical grid combat stuff. And there are battles in the game, but you can play a non-combative character, and with the exception of maybe 3 battles in the game that are all like super easy, and you know when you get there they're like lame, you can pretty much talk your way out of every battle. But you go into like a battle mode where it's, you know, there's turn-based and stuff like that, and you can manipulate some object in the environment or on the battlefield that will essentially progress the storyline past that particular encounter without ever having to draw a weapon. Or you can make your other characters really strong at melee or combat and have your main character only be a talking person, and you can kind of do a hybrid build. So Tides of Numenera was a super interesting game to me. I was not expecting it when I played it, and I was pleasantly surprised by its gameplay. I thought it was really, really interesting, and I don't think it really, the genius of that game like hit me until I was probably like in Act 2, and I was like, you know, this is really well designed, and it's cryptic to understand, almost like Final Fantasy XI level cryptic, where, you know, the game gives you these random messages like the tides have turned blue, and you're just like, what? But if you look through the help menus, you'll find what that means, and the little bonuses you get for that, and why they're important, and all these little micro things in the game that sort of add a lot of flavor to the world. And yeah, that game was just amazing, and that is a Planescape series game. Because it is a Torment, you know, Planescape Torment, that's basically the follow-up to it. It's Torment Tides of Numenera, and it's really, there's no other game I've ever played like it. It's super interesting. I guess I'm pulling this puck. Yeah. It's like that. It's enjoyable. It's really enjoyable. Like, I think a lot of these, like, Divinity Original Sin is a purely combat tactical CRPG. Like, Torment Tides of Numenera is like the complete opposite of that. It gives you so much more freedom of expression to build your character in a way that is satisfying to you, rather than like, oh, I need to maximize magic damage with this character and physical armor damage with this character and have a tank and stuff like that. Like, you just get to be what you want, and it's super cool. They're good. They're really good. The stories and writings are really amazing in Divinity Original Sin. But my one big peeve about it, and I know this is weird because people that play CRPGs should be used to like a lot of dialogue and a lot of combat and a lot of stuff, but the game is so long. Like, and listen, I know it's been speedrun in like, you know, whatever, 20 minutes, whatever the fuck, but the reality is most people aren't going to play the game that way. The Divinity Original Sin, like, you know, going through it as intended, it's like an 80 to 85 hour game. Like, it's so epic and long, and I feel like when I play that game, I take breaks from it. Like, every act, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to play this game for like a week because I feel like I've played it already so much, and there's all these characters I'm trying to keep track of, and all these little side quests and storylines that aren't going to matter for like another act or two according to the walkthrough that I peeked at, you know, because I'm like, what do I do with this item? And like, that's how that game is. Like, they give you an item in Act 1 or something, and you don't know what the hell it's for. You just hang on to it forever and ever and ever. It's almost like those old point-and-click adventures where you get items and you're like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, and so you wonder. And that's how Larian makes their games. And it's cute, you know, because it's a sort of a throwback to so many old school games to like give you these like red herring items and things. You have no idea if they're important. But the games are so long. I don't know. Like, and I honestly thought the first Divinity Original Sin was a better game than the second one. I thought the second one, they tried to overbalance the game just a little too much, and I didn't appreciate the sort of changes that they made to it, the way that some people kind of lauded and said, "Oh, this is such a great idea." It was okay. It just the first Divinity Original Sin was unbalanced because you could make a full mage party and wreck shit. In Divinity Original Sin, it's so much more balanced, like an on-the-rails MMO, where you have to have a tank, you have to have a mage, you have to have a healer. You need like a trinity setup to maximize your gameplay. There's some exception to that. It's not like super cookie cutter, but you have to be able to do physical damage and magical damage. And the way the classes are set up, it's kind of best to have like a tank, a ranged DPS, a melee, a ranged DPS, a tank, and one or two mages, one of which usually is half a healer, and one of which specializes in almost all elements. Like the game sort of railroads you in thought that way. And I got railroaded by it because I tried to do shit different in that game, and I really felt like I was missing something when I was getting to battles and I wasn't able to defeat them. And I was like, oh, I gotta respec this guy now. And I didn't like that. I didn't like having a respec concept, even though a respec is free. I hated having to do it. I didn't think that was good gameplay, but the storyline was great. It was compelling. Kept me in there till the end, all 80 plus hours of it. My food's off. I'm gonna need that if I'm gonna rampage this thing. Oh, I got blinded right there. I got chain. Very good. So that was a pretty high level one to get a chain 4 on. Alright, we're starting to chain over again, so let's get some buffs up. And we're currently rocking over 4K now. Yeah, over 5K, 5,400. So that's cool. Wish that Emeritat wasn't there, but he is. So we're gonna play this one real close here. Alright, we got him. Let's get him to go around the tree this way, because I know he gets stuck the other way. Send him in. Run over here. So you gotta get this puck to... You gotta get the spider to run up the hill at this angle. For some reason, coming straight up, he gets stuck every time, so I learned a long time ago. He's just gonna do it this way. Alright, big sickle slash, 961. So we've gotten some big ones tonight. We've also had some whiffs. But the 813, this 716, whatever it was, those are big ones. Oh, and the 918 that we had from the supercharged TP. I think that happened during the sitting as well. Those are great things, but I'd rather see them late in the chain than early. Can't always get what you want, though. That's the name of Final Fantasy. You can either get XP or farm. You can't really do both ever. Can't really do both ever. There are some exceptions to that, though. I've noticed on Beast, like when I was doing the spider versus spider before this, I was getting lots of spider webs, and those are like 20k a stack right now on the server. So that was super cool. I was able to make a little bit of money on the side. It covered like food costs basically. Yeah, I'd say food costs is probably what it would cover. Pet food cost as well is in that figure too. Alrighty, so let's let that guy return and get out of the way, and then we can grab this adder cop. And we don't have a spawn there, so maybe we try to go for one of these guys in the middle here, since we're moving a little fast right now. Let's see if we can get him to do that. We gotta tag it and heal it right away. We don't want to get a link or anything like that. We gotta wiggle him up the hill here. There we go. So that was perfect. Perfect pull. Let's get protect up while we have HP or MP. Dialga time. Should be noted that you know, this fight spot and the one I fight over by the soldier Phaedra, like at that little bump over there, are both safe spots for Dialga, and that's why I've been using those particular camps throughout the night. I said I would mention that at some point, so there it is. Can't give you all the content at once, you know. Alright, so let's start checking here. We've got 6K to go. And we said we were going to make that around 11:30. So now that we have made a little more than 5K an hour for that burst, we're actually kind of ahead. Because it is 10:05. And yeah, I think we're actually doing much better than we anticipated. Dialga is a recast in a lot of these mobs. You want to make sure you keep it on. Get that defense reduction, because over these long battles it will matter, and it will certainly matter when you decide to rampage it to the face or the gut or wherever you decide to rampage it with. All right, we should be in good rampage range there. Very good. If I could fight ones that level the whole time, that would be great. Be superb. Be wonderful. Alright. So I gotta grab this guy. Alright. I'm gonna try to walk him a little closer here. So now we're gonna fight ones on the side here. The ones we were fighting before. I want you to come with me, Mr. Spider. Yeah, okay. He got it. He got it. He's gonna... Yeah, the puck's gonna aggro me, but that's fine, because I'm gonna put the puck right here. Let's see what he opens with. Acid spray. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a good one. So this spot is the other spot. It's right at this little bump out here, against the wall, and it is safe for Dialga. So what do we want to do? We want to get Blink Up, number 1. And it looks like this is a pretty even fight. As long as I melee enough. So let's get a hit in and then cast Regen. So you want to make sure we're continuing to chip away as well. But we got to get our HP up at some point. We've been floating around 900 for a little while now. And that's an okay number, but we could be doing better. Mostly I think it's because we haven't been keeping our blink up. You know, when you get those tough battles, you can't really spend too much time casting spells, because you need that melee time. There's Dia wearing off of 50%, so that's good. That's me drinking water, because you gotta stay hydrated for these things. That's me vaping because I need nicotine every now and then. Alright. We're up to 9 viewers. I appreciate you guys stopping by. It's super awesome. If you play on Eden, say hello. And I will say hello to you. Also, if you're a Beastmaster, you should be looking at my guide for Eden. It is on the forums in the Beastmaster section. It is also available on the Narsh Discord, although you don't have access to that unless you're in the guild. So let's see what we do here. Very good. That's XP chain 2 against a level 69 right there. So we're gonna get a bit of a bump in the XP per hour here, I think, by default, because I think this one's higher level. It's hard to tell. They seem to all like check around the same. Like they're all, you know, they're all tough because they're 1 to 3 levels higher. And I don't know past that. Let's get this one back a little bit, because I know that that's too close for a link. and that's not comfortable with me and Diaga either. And if I need to release him, I want him to be a little closer to the release point. So you never know. You just never know. There goes my blink. I gotta recast it now. That's gonna be the thing that helps us get our HP up the most, is just keeping blink up. Just want to make sure you keep it up. I can't wait to use just a regular axe. I'm using a pick right now because it was the best thing I could buy. But that was also 5 levels ago. So no one made the Darksteel Tabar on this server yet, and I could go and farm the Octiamus, which is off Bloodthirst or Mad Kicks in Kufdal. I think it's going to be a long fight if I try to do a 67. There's high risk of death as well, but I feel like I could pull it off. I think I soloed it to get my axe last time, many years ago. So I have a feeling I could do it again, but I just feel like, you know. I think I'm a little smarter about how I use my time and my resources this time around. Obviously the gear is much different as well. You know, you have access to Treasures of Aragon gear, which is like, some of it's really good. You know, for weapon skill or for TP, and it gives you more options, and certainly much less expensive options than were available before Treasures of Aragon came out. And I recall my beast dinging sometime in the COP era because I dinged in Babiki Bay, fighting Dommels or something like that, if I'm remembering that right. Might have been against goblins, but I think I was either using Dommels to fight goblins or fighting Dommels. I don't remember, but that's when my beast dinged 75. And that was before Treasures of Aragon was a thing. I'm not even sure it had been announced at that point. HP is going up, and that's good. And our pet's HP is kind of floating and not in the best space, but it could be worse. So if he uses Obfuscate instead of a damaging weapon skill, we might be okay. So there's Obfuscate. So we're going to catch up a little bit if we can get some hits in here. There, I got a hit in at least. We'll keep reward in the back of our mind here. I'm trying to conserve biscuits, but I may have to use one. It's getting kind of dangerously low here. Yeah, I may not be able to sustain this one. Yeah, there it is. See what he does. If he uses a crosswind, that could be bad. Alright, it's only did 2% damage. 52 damage. The range on that or rather the variance of that damage of that weapon skill is crazy. Because it'll do like 12, and then it'll do like 250. And I don't even know what to think about that. So another easy chain 4. What can we do with our MP since it's capped out? Let's get a stone skin up. So we've improved our position by just letting things happen over time here. So we had a little bit of a pattern going here where we're going after one of these pucks down in the middle as the second mob. So let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can keep that up without linking or something. I don't know. And it has to be pulled out a certain way. You gotta get it to come this way. Oh boy. Come on, we gotta go this way. Yeah, this is tense, because I don't know how these things link. I'm starting to think they don't link. I think that might be bad info on the iBar, because I've yet to see them link, and I've done some pretty bad pulls, and or whatever. So let's see. I'm gonna go just look them up on FF11 Encyclopedia. Puck. Let's see. They aggro here in Wildwood Woodlands. They aggro sight and sound, and they don't link. Yeah, they don't link. But the I-bar says SHL, and the S stands for sight, the H is for sound, and the L means that they link. And apparently they do not link. So now I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can just pull them one at a time, not even worry about it. So I'm cool. Learned something. I should have just looked it up. That's not the first issue on the I-bar plugin. There was one other one that said something linked, but it did not. No, it's a chamber beetles, or the warden beetles in the chamber of bottom of Garledge. They don't aggro by sound, and they're marked as aggroing by sound. They aggro by sight because they're beetles. Beetles don't aggro by sound. They all aggro by sight when they aggro at all. So I thought that was an interesting one. Let's see if I ran back to my exact spot. Nope. Alright. That's okay. You need to stop missing, Mr. Spider. Yeah, he really needs to stop missing. Because I don't want to lose him. Now, if he evades, that's fun. But that should be an opportunity for him to make up damage, not to, be like, oh, I missed. Now the mob can miss me and it's fine. It's not fine. The mob misses you, that's cool, but then you're supposed to hit him back. Hit him instead. Alright. So let's get Blink up, because I tell you what, we got time. We're just starting a fresh chain. We are not in a hurry. We've got MP as well. If our MP is sitting at max, and we could be having buffs on, but we're just letting it tick up and it's not moving, then we're kind of wasting MP. Especially if we can afford it, we're just wasting MP at that point. So let's see. Since we're not concerned about links at all, pretty much. Let's see if I can get this spider to follow me to the same camp. And we'll go over here because I think, we might get that other one that spawn on us here. Over here, he may not see us. This changes things a little bit. Less than 5k to level, which means that we're less than an hour from leveling. Doing the time right now, we're looking at, it is 10:17, so that means we should be dinging around 11:10, 11:05 maybe. It'll depend on spawns, so if we get all kind of level 68 spawns, XP is going to be real meh. I've never gotten to the point where I've actually killed all 5 of these pucks for chain 4. It's usually cycling between 3 or 4 of them, tops. Because the one that spawns right in front of us, by that near wall, is going to spawn next. And he's going to spawn during this battle, most likely. And I'm going to make him the next target. Yep, the HP setup looks good. I was just analyzing things a little bit, but it looks fine. I don't have to worry about reward, and that's always good because I've got 16 rewards left. So as long as he just obfuscates me, I'm fine. Because I always felt obfuscate was really powerful in retail, and I think it was. Here, I can still hit while flashed, and I think that is probably wrong. I think it should be stronger. Now my pet misses a lot. during that time, but I don't, and so I feel like, yeah, there's something a little weird about that. All right, so the puck is back. Let's go after him. This is my favorite spot. This little place in the hill here. This is where it's at, man. So safe from like all the other mobs, other than this one right here. And you know that he's gonna probably spawn, you know, fourth, like right as the beginning of the fourth mob or so like that. So I cleared out him, and then the two down there, and now this one. So it was actually two in between him. So with the spawn of 5 minutes, you just gotta time it a little bit, and then you'll be fine. Making over 5K an hour is solid. It's definitely solid. There's wind shear. So our HP difference is good, so I'll recast point. I want to keep it up just for good practice. It's really important you keep your sushi up too. The moment that goes down, you gotta get it up because these mobs have they're kind of evasive. Back up because that's what we blink. So we've got one shadow left. Nice, we had a good round there. Not a great rampage. Misses there. Go back to home. I'm gonna grab your brother. See, we didn't get that other one come up yet, so let's go after the one down here instead. So we're just gonna, you know, play it by ear. Like whatever we can fight, we'll fight. So this should be a good spot. I don't think the dog is gonna hit anything here. Yeah, it's fine. Even when the one spawned behind the wall there, they'll be out of range. No, my stone skin that didn't get used. I remember that it was better to have it than not have it. That's something, that is an important thing to know, to note. Yes, use obfuscate. You know, I've noticed the mob misses more than I do during obfuscate, but I've seen my spider hit during blinded. See, like he just crit. So I just remember like it being if you use rampage during obfuscate, it just flat out missed. Like every hit missed. It was a super powerful flash in retail. So I may have to submit a bug report just to have them look into it because I think it should be better than what it is. It just seems a little underpowered, I guess. And this is from looking at this for the past like 10 hours. You know, I have literally, when I finish this camp, I will have been here probably like 12 hours because I was fighting spider for spider. And then, you know, these guys were the last 27.5K entirely at 5K an hour. So that's like 5.5 hours. And then this camp is about 6 hours. So, yeah, I feel like I have license to say if something's broken a little bit because I have a lot of observational bias, or let's say observational knowledge, because it is a bias, but there's evidence there that is telling me that it's probably not up to par. Spider should appear by me. I don't know why he's not. He's just being a douche. Why are you stuck on this tree in the middle of chain 4? Are you ridiculous? What are you doing? Alright, fine. Yeah, see, now I've got both pucks on me. This is bad. Alright, so let's see how we're going to manage this. Because this is how we're going to manage it. We are going to have to charm the puck. And have the puck fight the puck. This is screwy. I don't actually know where these guys despawn from. I have no idea. They don't link, right? So. Team doesn't work. This one wasn't my pet every time, so I should get XP off of it. Alright, we fixed that problem. Somewhat. We also got a sickle slash out of our pet here, which, let's see what that did. It did 550, so that's cool. Let's see if we can get some recovery time in here using that extra HP damage that he did. Glad I was able to charm that puck. That helped a lot. Otherwise, I might have been in a hell of a lot of trouble. That stone skin that I said had worn off wasn't there. It hadn't been recasted. I was trying to rush to chain 4. And normally that's okay, but the spider got stuck. And, you know, just... It's a perfect storm sometimes with this game, man. But in any case, I'm gonna end up being here a 3rd level. It looks like. I've been looking around, and I'm just trying to find a. I'm trying to find a new camp that seems interesting and gives me good XP. But I can't find something better than this camp just yet. So I've been here since 66, doing the pucks versus spider versus puck. Hell, I've been here since 65, doing spider versus spider. So I've been in this area a lot, and I feel like it's never gonna be over. But I know at one point it will be, and I'll be sad. I'll look back on it and be like, hey, remember when I was making that great XP killing those pucks? Man, I wish I could have that again. And sometimes that's how this game is. You gotta, like, even though things are a pain in the butt, you gotta, like, appreciate it. And you're not gonna appreciate it while it's happening, because you're gonna be like, oh, this is boring. Alright, he slowed me, so I need to get rid of that. I don't want to have slow on me. So we use a race, get rid of slow. I bought a race just for my, well, I didn't buy it actually, I did the BCM. I got it. Where's my spider? There he is. Kill this puck that we didn't kill before. Alright, very good. So we'll start to chain up. We'll start to chain here. We've already got the base started. Let's do this. Alright, we're going to get Blink back up. We'll see how we do with the jet. We have time to get it up. Falling behind on damage a little bit here. Okay, puck missed. That's good. That's good news. Shear, that's gonna hit my... Oh, you know what we're losing here? We're losing sanction. And because of that, we're gonna have to go back to town, because we're not gonna fight here without sanction effect. And it's a hike back to town, so chances are I'm going to warp back to town. There's a decent amount of aggro along the way. it'll be a good break for us to just pick up another couple of stacks of pet food, so we're not like, you know, kind of on edge about that. We don't want to be concerned. But it's unfortunate that it's going to happen in the middle of the chain. Sanction only lasts 3 hours, 3.5 hours or so. So when you're at a camp, you need to be at a camp for 5 to 6. You got to return at some point to camp. And that's been my stopping point in a lot of ways. You know, like I'll be here for an hour, log out, come back for an hour. But when I come back for the 3rd hour and it wears off, I'm like, all right, that's it. I guess I'm done. All right, so we're gonna have to, unfortunately, take a break in the middle of the stream to warp back and get. You know what we'll do? We'll get MP while we're at it. We'll get MP. We'll cast re-raise. Actually, we won't need to get MP. We'll just we'll walk into a Mog house or something. It'll be fine. But we're gonna warp back to Sandy, then go through the Mog house, warp back to Odd Ergon, get sanctioned, get on a Chocobo, come right back out here. That's what we're gonna do. Here we go. So I'm gonna eat some of my MP now. And get it back in my Mog house. And since I'm wearing my MP set, it's going to give me a whole shitload of it, which is great. So let's run over to the auction house real quick and grab some deltas. It's kind of a boring run, but we gotta do it. And we are, yeah, we're making 5k an hour, and we're less than 4k to level. So we'll reset the XP watch again, and we'll do it up to make sure that we're gonna stay, you know, where we're at. Just one of my link shell mates. That sanction, it's too good to play without. You know, aside from the fact that I want to make sure I get as much Imperial standing as possible, I need 20,000 for the Wallara turban, which I'm gonna hit. There's no doubt about that. I've already got 13k, and I've only been XPing in Treasure of Ergon areas since level 62. So I'm definitely going to hit that well ahead of schedule. And then I won't feel so bad coming back to Biometry to sort of finish up my levels. I think I'm going to end up finishing on Elder Gogu's there this time around. Pet food is cheaper than it was, and I might buy a bunch of stacks just because I'm here. Oh, okay, someone's selling for 2k. I'll take them for 2k because they've been going for 22 for a while, as you can see. So to buy them for 2k, that's cool. I'll probably pick up another 2 stacks because I always use deltas. I don't bother with epsilons. It's usually just too much HP that goes to waste, and I found that deltas are pretty good. Like, in general, using the pet food that is 1 tier down from where you ought to be is a pretty good rule of thumb. So I'm not using the level 60 ones right now. I'm using the level 48s. And those really do a pretty good job of keeping me in the game. Alrighty. So anyway, it doesn't matter because we're gonna get to the sanction, and we're gonna cast re-raise. We're gonna get to the sanction NPC. You get sanction, and then grab a Chocobo, and we'll regen MP while we're running back out to the area. And that's just how we're gonna do. I can't believe I thought these things linked all that time. I feel a little silly about that. I shouldn't blame myself because I've been trusting the iBar plugin pretty much since I've been started playing Beastmaster, and the only time I found it off was the Warden Beetles which are basically duplicated chamber beetles here on Eden. And it said that they aggro by sound, and I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. But I didn't believe it, I walked right up behind one. I'm like, no, it doesn't aggro by sound, but it do aggro by sight, and I knew that. And I've just kind of been saying, hey, you know what? Ivar wouldn't lie to me, right? Someone put all this work into the plugin. They obviously hard-coded information into the plugin rather than pull it from FFclopedia, which I guess is okay too. But you know, if you could have used the API on the website, it would have been more future-proofed, I guess. And to be honest, I don't know that it does that or not, and maybe it's just reading data wrong, but it seems to just have a static data file, I believe, when you download the plugin, because it downloads a shitload of stuff, and I'm pretty sure all that stuff is just static data in files rather than pulling from a live updated website. So one of my link shell partners, he is one of the guys who offers teleports and stuff on the server. His name's Tabion. He's chatting right now. He went away. He was doing teleport taxi for a good solid month or whatever to save money for his random gear. And in his absence, a new teleport taxi has sprung up. And now they are in a shouting conflict for teleport people, or teleport eaters. So that is funny to me. I still have not been able to get whitelisted on the Eden Discord. So I'm not able to actually promote my stuff through the Discord, which sucks. I was whitelisted last week. I don't know what happened. I guess God Mode removed me or updated something and it bugged out or whatever. Because I certainly deleted my thing every single time it was done. Right, okay, so we're going to cast Re-Raise right now. So that our MP starts to tick back. Actually, it's not going to tick back. Because, well, no, it'll take back. It'll be something. Then load our regular gear. Go get on a Chocobo and resume. Alright, we're going to Chocobo back out to our lovely Spider-Verse puck spot. Hope that no one's messed with our spiders in the meantime. I don't think they will have, but we'll get there. Alright. So wiggle our way south and a little bit west. Get back to where we were. And if you're just tuning in, we are doing Odd Ergon Otter Cops versus the Pucks down at the H11, H10 spot. Well, it's really just H11 at this point, here in Wajan Woodlands. And we're making a little over 5k an hour, depending on mob level spawns and whatnot. But 5k on average is what we're looking at. And we were hoping to ding by before 11:20, but we had a little setback because sanction were off, and we absolutely need to have that refresh effect and gain Imperial standing. So we had to leave, take a little bit of a 6-7 minute breather here, and now we're right back out and hoping that we can get back there and that an XP party hasn't like stolen my spot or something. I don't know that is an XP spot. I would think it's not since it's only 5 mobs, but you never know. I've been in situations where people have come into my camp where there's only 2 or 3 mobs and killed them, and I'm stand there like, do you not see me killing things, or did you not care? And most of the time it's that they don't care because they treat Beastmasters like shit. And that's not really cool. I've talked a lot about that on the stream. People just not having respect for Beastmasters and the things that they need to do to make their XP work. There's a lot of disregard and disrespect for people who are trying to XP pet jobs in general. And so you will see a lot of, you know, pet shells pop up and pet XP parties pop up, and I'm not really into joining any of that kind of stuff. So I don't. But I certainly could if I wanted to. Alright, so we're back at camp. Let's get Blink up, since that's what we need to avoid wind shear. And I have this terrible habit of basically mischarming the first mob every single time I get off a chocobo. It's kind of hilarious. So it's not happening tonight, which is great, and I'm thankful for that, because it is a hassle. Alright. Do this. Good, he avoided the wall there. I like that. And they still have the TP that I left them with, which I enjoy. I just wish you wouldn't use it on slow if you had 2,000 plus of it. Alright, we're right back to where we were when we left several minutes ago. And at 5k an hour, that means you're getting about 800 XP every 10 minutes. I believe that's approximately what it would sort of bank out to, right? 60 minutes divided by 5, no, it's more than that actually. Anyway, we should be looking at about 45 minutes or so to level up here, which is not bad at all. Damn, that obfuscate happened right before my attack. Or it wore off right after my attack. But our spider has been, he's been doing good. He's been doing good. Double miss there. Glad to see such a big crowd though, for such an old game, getting like, you know, 10, 12 people viewing at the same time. It's pretty impressive. I don't know, I don't know what the Nozomi streamers get, or the other Eden streamers. I've stopped by a few of the Eden streams. I've never seen more than like, you know, a handful in those, so maybe I'm doing pretty well. I really don't know. I'm here for fun, and I guess I'm here to promote my community, which I probably should have done like at least once an hour. But I do play this character named Ashton on the Eden server, Final Fantasy XIV private server, and my name is actually, I go by Gray most often because I'm the community manager for the Impact Gaming community. We are a community that currently hosts 6 different game titles, each with a unique player base, and we have a lot of fun playing all those games. We have a really great crew for Rocket League, Division 2, Dungeons & Dragons, Final Fantasy XIV. We have a lot of different games that we play. And I'm the community manager, so my job is to sort of keep the groups in line, make sure that everyone has the resources that they need to run their game effectively and efficiently. And that can mean things like making sure that our Guilded pages, forums are set up, and that they have Discord channels, that they're putting officers in place, things of that nature. My primary role outside of managing the community is global outreach. So I'm looking for officers and leaders bring new games to our community all the time, year-round pretty much. So a lot of my time is spent on Reddit and DMs and /clans, a lot of other subreddits that reach out and are for specific teams. Looking for MOBA stuff right now, looking for Smite leader, looking for a League of Legends leader. Wouldn't be opposed to a Dota 2 leader if it needed that. Or another MMO leader. We just added WoW back again, and we've got a small group for that, and we're starting up recruitment. We're playing on Dalinar or Danalar server. I forget exactly which one it is. I know the devil's in the details, and I don't know them very well sometimes. But we got a good guild leader for our game manager for every group that we run. They have unique player bases, and some players do spill over into other games as well, which we encourage. You can come on our Discord and apply for any game you want to play, and a recruitment officer for that specific chapter will reach out to you and talk to you about your application and accept you or reject you. And if you're accepted and you're in, you get access to the channels for that game, and then you have the ability to sort of opt in to channels for any of the other games that we host. So you kind of, it's kind of a pick your own adventure kind of thing. If you apply to our Rocket League team, you'll get to see Rocket League channel stuff, and then if you're like, oh, I really want to see what the D&D group is doing, you can go and turn those channels on without being accepted to that group, so that you can kind of get in on the chat, see if there's a game available you want to jump into, and that kind of stuff. We do accept only players that are 18 or older. We have a application process for every game. I would say the games that tend to be a little younger than others, Aerial Impact is our Rocket League team. They tend to be a little younger, and our Minecraft team is probably teetering on around early 20s or so, I'd say. But it changes a lot, like recruitment goes on year-round, so you never really know what you're going to get sometimes. But you have to be 21 or older. That's just how it goes. And IGC, I don't take responsibility for members younger than 21 as the community manager, and so I don't really allow them on the server. We have a lot of little special interest groups too. We do the Extra Life fundraiser every year. We have a team for that. Usually, I'm always part of that. We have a party games section, which does Cards Against Humanity and Jackbox games and things of that nature. They play some other kinds of games too. We have a spoiler-tastic Game of Thrones channel that you can opt into as well. That just got added yesterday because I was tired of people using accidentally not spoiling things despite my commands to do that. So we just solved that whole problem and walled them off into their own channel that you now need to give yourself access to join and see and type in. We also have a stream team, which does our Twitch. So Thursday nights I do this stream for Final Fantasy XI. But there are, every other night of the week, there is something going on this channel. So tomorrow night, Friday, you will see our Rocket League team go live around 6:30 Eastern. And then Saturday, there will be a D&D campaign around 6 o'clock Eastern. Sunday, every other Sunday, there's a podcast at 3. Monday, there's D&D. Tuesdays, we're looking at trying to add the Division onto that schedule. And then Wednesdays is also D&D. So there's something going on just about every day on the Twitch channel. We have active social media connections on YouTube and Twitter, in addition to Twitch and Facebook and all that other stuff. We do have a Patreon, we have a Redbubble t-shirt store, and we do have affiliate status here on Twitch. So the community does fund itself in a lot of ways. We make a pretty good income every month, and all of that gets recycled right back into the members in the form of giveaways after we get to pay all our bills. So once web hosting fees are covered and the podcast hosting fees and everything else is all covered for the year, we look at all that money as just going right back into the community. So we're right now looking at ways to implement fair raffles for members who donate to us every month through our Patreon, Twitch, Prime subs, and our Redbubble store. We're looking at probably doing like $25 to $30 giveaways every month pretty soon. And I gotta say, that's pretty exciting because we've never been at that level before. So the work that we put in to sort of make it self-sustaining, and the money that the members have given us to you know, help keep it afloat have really been done wonders for not only my wallet, because I've been paying for everything up to this point, but you know, it shows a good level of dedication for members. You know, they're vested in what we do in the community, and as a viewer or listener, just hearing about this, you know, that's what I would hope you take out of it. You know, that the members that come to IGC tend to be long-term members, tend to be like 25 to 35 when they join. They spend, you know, at the minimum 3 months there, but we have members that have been there for the whole 9 years, you know, as well. So, and just about everything between. You know, I would say our sort of long-term vetted members are going on 3 to 5 years, you know, in a lot of cases, and have gone through being players on various titles that we've hosted, have been officers at varying levels, from raid, event, recruitment, have been game managers at some point, you know, running the actual show of the game and how all that works. A few have made it to admin status. There are only 4 other admins alongside me, so it is a very coveted position. And the community itself is right around 180 members. We've been floating around that number for a little while. And it's pretty good comfort level for the staff that I have, which is about 16 staff members. We have about a 10-to-1 ratio, and we like to keep it right around there too. So there's an officer is available pretty much all the time. There's an admin that is around most of the time, you know, throughout the day. Most of us are U.S. Well, all of us are U.S. time zone. But we respond to stuff in the middle of the night because it's that important to us. So, you know, we do a lot. We do a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And we've been doing that for 9 years now, and I really wouldn't do it any different. If I could start again, I really wouldn't do it any different. You know, there are certainly some things I've learned along the way that I would probably integrate into my practice of being a community manager. But for the most part, we have had a hell of a time, a great 9 years community, and looking forward to another 9 years at least. So that is my spiel. And if you are interested in joining IGC, check out our webpage. That'll give you the link to go over to our Gilded page, and you can check out all the active games we have going on. And just so you know, we do have Final Fantasy XIV, Rocket League, Dungeons and Dragons. We have 5 DMs for Dungeons and Dragons. We have Division 2, World of Warcraft, and Minecraft, which we run our own server. Who is that? Rips up. Is that Rip Hook? Fishing Master guy? Is that who you are? Why do I get to be the Beast God? How did I get that title? I mean, oh, cool, man. Okay. I guess I'm the Beast God. Okay, well that's cool. That's a fancy fucking title. Ah, I whacked my stick by accident. My joystick. So how you doing, Soda? What brings you by the stream tonight? Going Naruto Cup. How you doing? You guys interested in learning how to play Beastmaster, or are you just so bored that you're watching me do it? I can never figure out Twitch watching, because I gotta tell you, I've never been a big Twitch watcher. You know. Oh, I see. Yeah. Do you stream on certain days? Because you should let me know. I'll definitely tune in if I'm available. Which is just as likely as it is unlikely, to be honest with you. I'm a busy guy. Let's get down here. Now this guy's gonna go all the way around, take the frickin' scenic route to get where he wants to go. Were you the wonderful thief who ran around with me? Then yes, it was you. Yes. I had a lot of fun that day. I really appreciate it. I've come a long way since then, sir. If I can ever return the favor, please let me know. Though I will tell you what I have done because of your goodwill in the Eldemi Necropolis is I have actually just joined shout parties for people looking for LV1, taking Fungal familiar with me and actually going and killing them, the liches for them to get their paper. So I have gotten probably 6 ancient papyruses for various people. 2 were people in my link, was a guy in my link show. We actually went 2-4-2, which was hilarious. But the other ones were just, you know, sort of random pugs. And I did that because you extended me, you know, that sort of altruism, and I decided to return the favor in a similar way. So, you know, you got to give back karma, right? You got to get karma to get karma and all that shit. So that's what I did. I will say my drop rate on ancient papyrus isn't that bad. It's probably like 1 in 6 or 1 in 7. Trying to get my own was a pain in the ass. I think I soloed like 9 liches or something like that before I was like, all right, screw this. This guy's got treasure hunter. Let's do it. I was just too tired to, you know, be bothered with my own pride and trying to keep up doing everything solo. You know, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to do everything solo because, like, once I got to the Hell Mines, it's like I don't know how I'm gonna get behind the gate without 3 other people. But when I did get behind the gate, I was able to get it solo. So. Hell, I got my extra ray mold on my first kill. Wasn't a problem. No, come this way. Damn you, spider. Why are you going that way? I think it was my first kill. Maybe it was my second kill. I don't know. But those were not a problem at all. Actually EXP'd off those guys for a while, so I really gotta teach this spider how to, like, follow me better. Like, he sucks at following. Oh boy, alright. Alright, he's better at that. Let me just do that. I don't want to fight him here, but I will. Sickle Slash was 277. That was pretty good. Thank you guys for the follows. I really appreciate it. And I always get to go back to my development manager and my social media manager, and I tell them every week, you know, because they're like, "Why do you stream this old game, right?" Because, like, my social media manager, she deals with. Like, after this, you know, this will be on Twitch right now, and it'll go over to YouTube, and then she'll file it and tag it and all this other stuff. Then it'll get tweeted out and all this business, right? Like, because we have this whole system. And they'll be like, "Why do you play this old game?" And I'm like, because apparently people watch it, right? And I was told by my development manager, who's like an old EQ buff, he's like, "No one's going to watch that. No one's going to watch that." I said, "Okay, well, all I got to do is promote it on the Discord, and hopefully someone will watch it." And tonight I didn't even get to promote it on the Discord because I'm not whitelisted for some reason. And I can't send God Mode a DM because I'm not on his friends list. So I need to, like, figure out a way to get a hold of him. And I've have how many follows tonight, right? 3. And I had like 12 or 13 peak viewers at one point. So when I get the stream report in the morning, thank you for the follow, that's 4. I'm gonna rub it in his face and be like, check out the Streamlabs report. I got 4 followers last night. A couple of weeks ago, I got like 3 Prime subs. I'm like, yo, people will watch me play this game and almost die on Beastmaster, and it will be hilarious. Of course, I'm not almost dying in this game because it's too easy, but a couple of weeks ago, this is what's funny to me. A couple of weeks ago, when I was streaming this game, people were chatting me up or whatever for like the first like hour and stuff, and I was really enjoying it. I was getting into it, and then the stream like went really, really quiet, and I was like, okay, well, there's still like 10 people watching this stream, but like I don't know why they're not talking. And I'm asking them questions and no one's responding to me, and I'm like, all right, maybe everyone just like decided to AFK and just give me views for free. I'm like, whatever, right? And then all of a sudden I'm like, I get like a link, and I'm like, shit, and I can't figure the link out, and I almost pull it out, but I die, and then I die, and the stream blows up, and everyone's like, "Oh man, you died," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, everyone was like, I thought everyone was AFK. Everyone was just being quiet, I guess. They're just watching me do this thing. But the moment I hit the ground, like 3 people said something. I'm like, man, you guys gotta talk to me the whole time, man. You can't just talk to me when the going gets bad. You can't just be excited about me dying. You gotta celebrate me when I get like chain 4, man. And if I ever do chain 5, you definitely have to celebrate because that shit's hard. Unless it's a bomb or a goblin, getting chain 5 is not an easy task on Beastmaster. Like the moment the chain 4 mob dies, you would need to have a new pet and be fighting the next one. It doesn't happen, like ever. Yeah, it is. You know, the thing is, it's very repetitive, and so like it's like right now I'm just mailing this thing. It's not like a new MMO where I gotta press 80 buttons a minute, right? Like, I'm not worried about APM like in Final Fantasy 11, which is, you could say that's good, you could say that's bad. You know, it's just a matter of perspective, really. What I do need to do is put Blink back up and stop talking. But yeah, I love getting the stream report right after I stream because I usually get a follow or 2, and sometimes I get a prime sub, and I get a lot of people chatting with me, and I enjoy that. And to me it's like super relaxing to just play this class where I just get to solo, and I can put it up, pick it up, put it down whenever I want. It's cool. It's very me, this job, I loved it in retail. It was my favorite job. I mean, Paladin and Ninja, like tanking was my main, obviously for endgame stuff, but Beastmaster was enjoyable. I did a few merits on Beastmaster just to be like, I need to go out and solo stuff and get away from the sort of hubbub of, and noise of all the H&M stuff for a little while. And it can be very, very relaxing to sort of peel away from all that stuff. When it's what you do every day, you're like, oh, okay, Tuesday and Friday we got Dynamis, and Wednesday and Sunday we got Limbus, and then we do Sky on Monday and Thursday. It's like you want to get away from all that stuff when you're in it. Like you enjoy it. You like watching people get gear and stuff, but after a while, it just becomes kind of boring. And before Out Urgon came out, I mean, there was just like, that's what you did. You did Kings, you did Sky, you did Sea, and then like, I don't know, there was always something to do every day, but you didn't want to go every day. You didn't want to do it every day. You just did it because like, people had different levels of interest in things. Like those mages, man, they really wanted to do Ultima. So you had to farm Sea, you had to get chips and all that other stuff that you needed, and it just, I don't know, the whole like cycle was it gets old, like anything else. It gets tiring. You need a break from it, and pet jobs are such an excellent break from it. They really are. And I would say, I don't have a strong desire to jump back into the endgame of this game, especially in Era, because I did it for so many years. And my greatest moments were definitely finishing my Aegis, but getting my defending ring was a huge moment for me too. And it was something like 80 KBs before I got a defending ring, and it was the only one that my Link Shell had ever gotten. And it was over the course of almost 4 years of killing King Behemoth, or maybe 3.5. It was a long time killing KB, and I always saved up my points, and I would bid my points and whatever. And it got to the point where when I got my defending ring, like the highest person on our DKP probably had like 500-600 points, and it was a black mage. There wasn't a lot of stuff for black mages to get. Once they got their Zenith and Sky and they had their Dalmatica, they didn't really care too much about everything else. They wanted to do Proto Ultima. That was like a big thing. And I had maybe like 200 points, and I was one of like maybe 4 or 5 tanks in the shell, but I was definitely the main tank because I was also the leader. And it got to the point where I was bidding on that, defending him for so long, that, and I had so many points, and people knew I was probably just going to throw all my points at it, that I didn't. And I think I won it with like a bid of like 41.5 points or something silly like that. And every other tank I found out didn't even bid on it. Like, they didn't even bother, because they were like, you know what? Why would we outbid him? You know. And so it was a long time coming kind of thing, and you know, the camaraderie of, you know, feelings like around that stuff is great. But you got to remember, it's just virtual stuff. It's just an item, you know. Like, I had a riddle, I had an Adamant Hauberk, I had all that stuff. It never made me feel whole inside. It certainly increased my DPS a shitload, but it never made me feel like a great person, you know. Like, just getting to spend time with Link Shell members and getting to know them personally and meeting some of them in real life too was way more rewarding than ever seeing a defending ring drop or getting a riddle for someone. Like, that was really where the Final Fantasy experience was at, you know. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. I think a lot of people definitely look at this game like, this is where I met friends, or, you know, my wife, or, you know, where I had my best years, or something like that. And, you know, that stuff has a lot of value. MMOs in general are the only kinds of games I think that over the years did that for people. They brought you together and connected you with people in a way that like no other game really does, even today. You know, games are so competitive nowadays, and it's all about keeping up with the Joneses, and, you know, can I get better gear than this guy, and looking up your profile online, and you forget that, you know what, when I log out of this game, I'm going to go to my job, I'm going to go be a husband, I'm going to go be a therapist, I'm going to go be, you know, whatever I'm doing that day, a supervisor, a manager, or, you know, whatever. Like, that's where your life is. You know, it's not on this game, but if you made something of your life because this game touched you in a way, then cool. And you should totally share that story on your blog or wherever you post online, or, you know, with your friends, or Discord, or whatever. And I left behind all my friends from 11 when I was gone. I didn't really talk to anybody from there. But I mean, I did run into a few players on 14, and I did hook up with some people from there, you know, from my old shell, but it never was the same. The camaraderie was never the same, you know. And even here on Eden, actually, I ran into an old friend who I played Final Fantasy 14 with. He was in my gaming community for probably the first 4 or 5 years, and when he left 14, he kind of disappeared. And I'm standing at the auction house on Tuesday, and I see his name, and I'm like, hey, are you so-and-so from, did you ever play Final Fantasy 14? He's like, yeah, I played on Figaro and Gungnir. And I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah, so I was your Grand Company leader, do you remember me? He's like, oh dude, of course I remember you. So, on FF11 retail, I played on Titan. I think Titan's gone now. I think it merged together with some other server or whatever, but I was on Titan. I was one of those infamous Titan endgamers. Oh, wait, no, we got a spawn here. This is the one we want now. You know, I've seen a lot of people talk about their server from retail and whatnot, and be like, oh, you know, we should make a link shell that has all, like, people from this server and whatever. I don't know what the point of that would be exactly, but that to me is a strange sentiment to even mention offhand. I never like talk about my server, I guess. I don't know. It was not like a point of pride for me or anything like that. Like, you know, my link shell did basically rule Titan for years, though. I mean, we had everything on lockdown, pretty much. You know, not kings, because we weren't great at claiming shit, that's for sure. But Tiamat, we could do 20-minute Tiamat kills or less. We basically never wiped on anything. You know, we did really well for ourselves. We were geared to the nines. You know, everyone who had wanted Herald Gators had Herald Gators. We were to the point where, you know, we were auctioning them off at our weekly auctions with points so that people could just sell them for gil because we didn't care about Herald Gators. You know, there was very few items that we needed anything of. I think, you know, obviously riddles are never in shorts. You know, those are never run out of the supply of riddles you need, because there's always someone leveling warrior and defending rings, because we only ever got one. But past that, we had everything else we needed. We had more adamant hallmarks and Dalmaticas than we knew what to do with, and you know, we just did really well, and you know, it was a good time in my life because it really helped me hone my leadership skills and learn how to sort of manage people and be a fair-minded person. But we had a very intricate DKP system, so I didn't have to be so fair-minded if people just bid points on what they wanted. I kept my hands far away from deciding who got loot. I let you know, members have as much liberty of deciding that based on their participation as they could possibly have. And our system was pretty good. I'd say it was almost flawless, but it was also very complicated, so it wasn't for everybody. Let's see if I can keep this spider with me. Nope, he wants to get stuck right there every single time. Let's go this way, buddy. I want you to pull this. Why you get stuck there? What is there that is so sticky? Just come on. Stop messing around. At least this part's flat. I'm glad about that. I can actually fight him right here. I don't need to hold him anywhere. He's not gonna get hit by anything. So it looks like we are 1700 on the nose for the next level. So we're getting close. We're getting close. I'm thirsty. There's that Zephyr mantle. Is that gonna hit that puck? I don't think so. Gotta keep it real. Can't do Diagging mobs we don't want to hit, so. I think I went off on a tangent there about happy feelings from Final Fantasy XI or something. I don't have many great memories of this game, to be honest. You know, a couple of loot drops here and there, a couple of moments, but nothing that I really clung on to that much. You know, I look back at this game with kind of a disdain after I left it, and I really didn't look back much. I think having experienced the gamut of what modern MMOs is, you know, I would say like most people who have been drawn back to it, there's been a stark disappointment with the product that is available out there. And I think that's on a couple of different levels, but certainly challenge is one of them, and freedom is another one. Things are so cookie cutter and locked in and predictable. You know, there's phases to bosses and things of that nature. Those aren't things that I ever really wanted in an MMO. You know, there's something to be said about doing really great on a battle, and then Fafnir or Tiamat uses Dragon Roar, and suddenly your hate is reset, and you're scrambling to figure out what the hell you're gonna do to get it back. You know, and you the first couple of times you deal with that, you panic because you're inexperienced with it. Eventually, you develop a strategy that's flawless to it. But the timing at which it happens isn't something that is predictable. You know, you're like, well, he uses it more after this percentage or whatever, but the timing is never going to be like, oh, at 20%, he's always going to use it, you know, like a lot of these other bosses. And that sort of variety and change of pace was what made 11 really unique. You know, the RNG of the RNG, to me, was what sort of brought the challenge in. And at times it seems bullshit. It seems like, oh, the game is so unfair and whatever. But when you take an objective look back, and this is why I like to record a lot of stuff, when you take a look back at what led up to the moment at which caused your death or the wipe of an alliance or whatever, you can always find a few moments, if not one critical moment, where the tide changed. And if you had made a different and better decision, you wouldn't have caused that death, or that outcome would have been avoided in some way. And it's no different in the modern MMOs. It's just that they're easier to pinpoint because you can go to a time signature and say, okay, when it got 30%, it used this thing, and that's when it went downhill, right? But here, it's a little different. It's more abstract. You know, I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but I can tell you that if this thing does happen right now, we're all screwed. And then inevitably, you know, 1 in 10 times it does happen, and you get terrored with no shadows up, and you know, something, or your healer dies because they were hitting in breath range or something. You know? Little fun things. Yeah, RNGesus. Maximum RNGesus. That is what this game is all about. Alright, let's see if we can get this spider to play nice. And we're going to try to chain 4 right over here on this puck that is moving towards me, which is really nice of him, actually, because I really want him to be exactly where he is right now. So that was cool of him. He moved perfectly into range. And we got a good poison out there with 207 base damage and 18 tick, so let's see how we do. Because we're about to be in the home stretch here of the last 1K. Somehow I've gotten less than 5K an hour. I don't know how that happened. I think there's probably been a lot of, you know, 100, 115s, 180s, 149 XPs, and that's again just randomness. You know, if you get a lot of 68 mobs that are +1 level versus +2 or +3, your XP per hour is going to suffer for no fault of your own, really. Because I think I've gotten chain 4 pretty much every time the last few chains. Yeah, man, that's just RNG, right? I mean, this is how it goes. You know, what you expect is you're going to tier 3 the crap out of those things, right? And then you don't. Yeah. Pay your respects or something, right? I'm going to heal my spider here because he seems to be taking some damage. What chain number are we on? Yeah, we're on 4. This will be 4 if we can get it. We really don't want to lose the spider. And I really don't want to use another sick command, so I'm going to try to pull 8 here. I've got Divine Seal, so I feel like I'm okay. My spider misses a lot. He's just missed too often. And yeah, I was like, if we miss that, it's because he has been fucking whiffing like crazy. But it's okay. And I lost a Kindred Seal because and I aggroed a puck, which I thought I heard, but I wasn't sure. Okay, it's fine. We're good. Fight. Now the worst thing that can happen to me is I poison spray, and that spider gets hit. That didn't happen, so that's good. Alright. We need to get a regen up and a blink up. And we need to also clear some inventory out, because apparently we have too much shit in our inventory. Alright, we'll figure that out in a sec. We need to get our defensive stuff up. Alright, so what can we drop? Well, we can drop puck eggs. Because we don't need them. They're just money. They're just skill. We have puck wings, on the other hand. So for us. Yeah, well, you know what? The thing is, I get to keep all the Kindred Seals that I find, right? So they don't have exactly I'm not exactly like pining for them. I think I have 99 on the NPC already, and I've got another 42 in my inventory, and I'm only level 67. This will be the first mob in a chain, so I guess I didn't see him coming up behind the wall there. Yeah, don't use obfuscate, doesn't do damage. Doesn't really prevent me from doing it either. I'll do the regen in between battles. I might even just Divine Seal. I have enough MP so I can do that. Use a reward here. Stay in it. Get out of those away. Really the greatest argument against Sub Ninja at this camp. Like, Sub Ninja would be so cool. It would be so much, just a little more damage. Although I'm already getting chain 4, so the damage is freaking negligible anyway. I don't think it would increase the XP per hour per se either. You know, you're still limited by respawn times. You're only going to cycle through 4 pucks at best. But that Diaga, it just saves you. It just saves you from having to deal with like attack instinct 10 times to get blinks off. Alright. We got Blink up here, and let's see if we can get this spider to play nice. He does. No, no, come on this way. I want you to come this way. Oh, he's totally stuck now. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Alright, that's wonderful. Maybe when I get far enough away, he'll decide he wants to come out and play. Where is he? Where the hell's my spider? He's over there now. Oh, there he is. Like, what the hell's he doing? Come on in here. I'm gonna fight it in here. This is a pretty safe spot. Alright, so what's we're looking at here? We're looking at 723 XP, so we're probably going to make our initial estimate of 1130. So hit this one, 1130 Eastern. It's going to depend on how beefy these mobs are, really. This one seems about a level or maybe 2 levels higher, so not too bad. This is what we like, actually. If I could fight level 69 mobs pretty much all day, that would be fantastic. Because that would be really good XP, and I could always kill them pretty much without using a reward. It's those level 70 ones that are rough. There's the Dia. It's back on. Spider will walk back from here. I mean, I want to say like, oh, I don't want to risk it or whatever. Pretty sure. I should have waited until after the battle to cast Blink. That's okay. Nope. We're gonna have to try to get these here. I'll just walk him up. There's no point in letting him go and risking it. But I'm pretty sure I can release him right here anyway. So you go that way. I'm going to pull the spider this way. Keep them in separate lanes. I haven't really revisited that lanes idea, but that's the idea there, you know. You just want to watch where they walk and stuff. And we'll get this guy walking up the hill here. And perfect. Sickle slash, wonderful. That's a great start. What do we get last battle? We got 220. Alright, so 503. If we get two pretty good mobs, we can we'll ding on this this chain. I mean, we'll definitely ding on this chain, whether it's just a matter of whether it's going to be number 3 or on number 4. But yeah, we'll get it. And now the thing with this is these spiders are level 65 to 67, and I'm 67 already, so they're at EM for me right now. Now, if I'm gonna do this camp for another level, which it looks like I'm gonna, I have to keep the spiders at 67. The problem is when I'm level 68, they will always check to me as DC because they'll be 1 to 3 levels below me all the time. So if someone comes by when I'm not here and kills the spiders and they respawn as DC, I won't know that they're necessarily not level 67. So it's one of the problems. Like typically in these camps, like your highest level pet is the minimum level of your prey. So you know, it would be like if the spiders were 65 to 67, the pucks would be 67 to 69 or 70. But that's not the case in this camp. The pucks actually start one level higher than the maximum level for the adder coops. They're 68 to 70, and again the spiders are 65 to 67. So I'm not going to know if they're not EM, and that's one of the problems I'm facing right now. And I don't like it. I just don't like it. Alright, so this hasn't happened all night because I've been keeping the mobs in their sort of lanes and stuff. But what we're going to do here is we're going to show you how to deal with a mob that links. And you also need to charm it. So we need to use the stay command, which we just did. And then we're going to wait for this mob to come at us. And this isn't the one we want, but it is what it is. So we're going to use leave. And then we're going to charm this one, like that. Alright, so we need to use leave, because this is actually the spider we want, not the one we're using. This is just the one we just used, so we gotta switch. We gotta switch spiders. And he wants to go hang out with the other spider real bad, I see that. And since I use stay on him, he still has the stay command on him. So I'm gonna remove that by using heal. Alright, come on buddy. It's a little Beastmaster tricks. Yeah, so anyway, we should be able to keep chain. We shouldn't have a problem, but we'll find out. That killed about 30 seconds of our kill time, by the way. So if we're going to chain 3, there may be a chance. That acid spray gives us a pretty good shot at it. Let's see, 26:42. Yeah, we're about a minute in already. It's gonna be rough. We'll see. And I need to get one just for the sake of it. I could have waited, but if this thing uses 2 wind shears, then it sort of jeopardizes the 4th chain anyway. So let's just do this. Alright, well we're ahead, right? Are we? No. The spider is 40. 34 to 41. Okay. So we're a little behind, but that's okay. As long as we're not 20% behind going into the 30s, we're fine. Start to get like 15 to 20% apart, then we're in trouble. Right now we're 10% apart, but he's using obfuscate, so that's okay. We can still hit here. Good. Now he's in rampage range, and we're just waiting for obfuscate. Alright, good. We reset the chain timer, and we're going to use the pet that's closest to us now. So, as long as he doesn't mischarm, we are alright. So let's just do this. I'm going to send him... he's going to get stuck everywhere, though. Is he going to come? No, he's not. Alright, so... there he is. So now we gotta wait for fight to come back, unfortunately. Go, 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 go. And we cannot fight there because it's bad Dialga range. So we need to move back a little bit. We should be okay. We should be okay to get chain. Alright. Yeah, he's Sickle Slashed. We're good. 613 Sickle Slash. That's awesome. So this spider has been on board with my XP dreams the entire time. And that's wonderful. I've got XP dreams, bro. It's helping me keep them alive. So there's that wind shear that will get sucked in by a blink. So level 68 is going to be cool because that is the level of wearing thick gear. So I'm going to look for, I'm going to go talk to a blacksmith guy who reached out to me on Discord earlier named Gavin. And he's going to hopefully help me make a Salada, a pair of thick mufflers, Solarets, and breeches. But I need to do a little bit of farming because I know I can get some of those items for that stuff. I have 850k, but I do not want to spend it because I'm going to need to buy a Herbergian at some point. So that's level 68 right there. That was our goal for tonight, right? And we know that these mobs are still level 67 despite them being DC. And they're going to check DC low evasion, but I mean, they're going to do that no matter what. So... I don't know anyone who has a 67 job that can come out here and check them for me while I convert them, so, you know, it's just going to have to be, I'm just going to have to cross my fingers and hope no one kills these guys while I'm not here, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, let's keep the chain going, I guess. Are we on chain? I think we're on chain. Yeah, I think that was 4 actually. So this would be a new chain. Yeah, that was 4 to it. Yeah, we made 5k. We made a little just under 5k. So some of that's just randomness. And now the minimum XP is going to go down because some of these are going to be EM. So now we're 68. And these are 68 to 70. So there's still a pretty good level for us to be, you know, killing, and we're certainly going to kill them faster. But are we going to get good XP per hour, you know, is the other thing. And I'm not sure that there's a camp better, and I think I've been saying that a couple times tonight. I'm kind of sick of doing this camp, because I did the 66 to 67 was 27.5k. Then the last level was 29k. So, you know, that is, let's see, 2,500, that is 47k basically at this camp. Like, I'm kind of tired. Actually, it's 57k. Alright, so you can imagine 57k at 5k an hour at the same camp. Yeah, I'm kind of done with it, you know what I'm saying? Obfuscate to keep himself in it just a little longer, huh, buddy? Alright. Yeah, and I tell you, the mob level is super important. Like, you can't really afford. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to charm the one I want and have him stay. He doesn't want to charm. So that's fun, because I'm actually higher level than these things now, and they still don't want to charm. So that's difficult. They're being difficult with me, and I only have 2 minutes left on my, he's using Spider Web. Well, that's better than him using Sickle Slash, so. Problem is that one lives over here. Unfortunately. Oh, look at that. He still wants to hate me. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? This is Final Fantasy trying to kill you. Like, there are just some instances in this game where you've got the best odds possible, but none of that really matters. The game just says, this is where we decide that you should die. And that was the moment right there. It was like, well, you know, you've been making good XP, you got the 68, we have to throw you a curveball now, just to remind you who is in charge. Yeah, see this? This is absurd. This is absurd. I didn't have 3 missed charms in the entire last hour. And now I've got 3 out of 4. So, tell me how that is, right? It's just to remind me who's in charge, that's all. You know. It's like when your wife reminds you that, you know, she can deny you certain things because she's your wife if you don't meet her needs or demands. It's like that. Or you can tell your kids, no, you can't have that unless you do this. Same idea. Just reminding people, you know, checking in with them, letting them know who's boss, kind of thing. Now, it's really important that you keep the level of the mob, the levels you want, okay? If you can fight with an EM pad, you want to fight with an EM pad. Here I can't. I could actually use pucks versus pucks, I suppose. I would have to convert at least 2 of the pucks, and then there's only 3 left. So the problem with that, of course, is that I've been able to cycle through 4, so that's not a good plan. Yeah, basically. The computer is cheating. It loves to cheat. It does it all the time. So yeah, I can't really convert 2 of the pucks and try to fight 3 of the other ones. It's just not realistic. The other way you can hope to do something like that is you leave it up to chance, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to designate 2 pucks to be my pets. I'm going to literally just look for EMs, and I'm going to pick them up, and I'm going to use them. And I'm going to leave them and avoid them. And when I need to get a chain, I will then come back and kill that EM on the assumption that at least 1 or 2 of them will spawn EM the next time around. Now, in a 3-level range camp, if you're talking 68 to 70, which is, you know, right where that's at, it's plausible that you could do that, but it's not going to be guaranteed. It's not as smooth as doing what we're doing here, where we're designating a zoo, which is a group of mobs that you're going to specifically use as pets. It's not like that, you know. It's a random chance sort of mob pool, and that's not really something you want to do. Heck, I haven't actually checked any of these guys since I dinged 68, but the 1 in 3 of them is going to be EM, so that's just the way odds go. So here's another one that's tough. Let's see, he's going to take the short way or the long way. He took the short way this time. That's cool. Good for you. Alrighty. So we'll jump right down in here with him like that. Let's see what these other guys are checking here. So that one's tough. That one's even match. So yeah, there's our EM. He's right in the middle. So we could use the pucks defense if we really wanted to again, but Besides, I think these spiders are just they're pretty good. They're pretty good at what they do. And I wouldn't want to change it. I think Acid Spray and Sickle Slash are worth keeping them around. I really do. I don't think anything the pucks do is really that dangerous. I don't think Crosswind is really that big of a deal. And certainly Windshield isn't. So we'll get a little bit of buffer here. Let's see what this other one spawned at. Are they both EMs now? Yeah. But this is the kill speed. You know, the kill speed is determined by the level of your pet. And right now, these pets are they're functioning at maximum capacity. They're not going to get any higher level than 67. So there's nothing better around here that I can throw at the puck. Otherwise, I would be doing it. So, you know, I like that their level is a good range, the pucks, but I'm not, you know, I wish that I could get more out of the spiders. I wish they would go up another level or something. Because then I'd be encouraged to leave. And if I was encouraged to leave, I might have to be creative about where I'm getting my next, 30K, 30,500 actually. So these levels, they're stretching. For Beastmaster, they are stretch, man, because when you're talking 5K an hour, damn, man, it's an uphill battle. It's a real uphill battle to look at your XP bar and be like, well, you know what, there's one pace this is going to go at, and I'm already a Beastmaster, so this is where we're at. This is what I'm stuck with. I'm going to risk this charm fail. There we go. I was risking it because the other guy hadn't cleared his lane yet, but I don't care. I just want to do this. I want to finish this chain, get this XP, and call it a night. So I think my wife already headed to bed. She does on Thursdays early, and I gotta do the same because I gotta go to work tomorrow and see patients. And I need to have patients to deal with them. I'm not a coffee drinker. This is another thing. Like, I work in healthcare, and everybody's a coffee drinker. Like, everybody shows up to work with a mug of coffee, and I know it's the same in a lot of industries, you know, IT and business. But I can never get behind it because I just hate coffee. It just doesn't do it for me. And anytime I drink coffee, it irritates the crap out of my stomach, whether it's black or I put cream in it or not, or skim, it doesn't matter. It just kills me. So yeah, I need to get sleep, is what I'm saying. Sleep is the only thing that makes me feel patient. Gives me the ability to kind of relax and do things. But as we wind down here, you know, I want to say thank you guys for stopping by. I think we had a peak of 16 viewers, but when I get the report, I'll know. And we had 4 new followers, Rip Sub. Hi Longy, Taco Tuesday, I know that guy, Naruto, and I'm really glad you guys all came by as well. The people who chatted with me that already followed me, I super appreciate you. I will be here on Thursdays to stream this game for a while to come, I imagine. I will try to pick, you know, I can't force good camps, you know, like camps are camps, like, you know, you're limited by the availability of what the game gives you or whatever. But if a camp is really boring, I may try to do something else for a given night, right? Like, I noticed there was a guy who is streaming his camping of Sozu Rogberry. Now, I'm not one to judge the quality of a stream's content, okay? But I don't know that I would be able to watch a stream of someone who's camping a 16-minute placeholder mob, assuming that it is 16 minutes. I'm pretty sure it is. That to me is just kind of, really? But if we go by the eBay principle of if someone's selling it, someone is buying it, and apply that to Twitch, then if someone's streaming it, someone's watching it, right? Unfortunately, we can look if someone's watching or not, and I don't know if people watch the stream or not. And I really hope he gets a Thieves Night. I gotta tell you, like, I've popped into his stream a couple of times just to, you know, watch him kill a placeholder or whatever. Or maybe I will see Sozu spawn right then and there, you know? Like, I guess there's a little bit of thrill to that. Doesn't really keep me there. But I will say I'm pulling for that guy. I really hope he gets his Thief Knife because he's putting the work in, regardless of whether or not I would watch his stream. He's dedicated, and you gotta give props to people who are dedicated to what they do. So dedication is the only way you'll ever get something like a Thief Knife. You have to keep at it, keep killing it. You know, it took me 80-something KBs to get a freaking defending ring. But it never stopped me from showing up to KB because I knew if I didn't show up, I definitely wasn't getting it. So you gotta be there. You know, you gotta put the time in, put the work in, get the claim, all that stuff, and sooner or later the drop will be yours. And then you can help other people get their Thief's Knife by spending hours on hours in Temple of Eagle be doing that for them, if that's your thing. Personally, I would just go farm shit. You know, I would just start banging out numbers and do math and stuff to see what Treasure Hunter 3 verse 2 is like on Eden. You know, see if we can backwards engineer what they've done to Treasure Hunter specifically, because they haven't told us. You know, whether it's just an extra roll or whatever, like it is in retail, like they figured out. I'd be curious, I guess. That's what I would do if I had a Thieves Knife. Do some math. And I wonder what's up with that tiger. You know, I keep hearing this thing about tiger fangs on Discord. I don't know if that's a troll or whatnot. But I swung by Carpenter's Landing earlier today, and I was like, I'm gonna kill 2 tigers, and I didn't get any tiger fangs or tiger hides. In fact, I got nothing. And I thought, wow, did they change something about the drop rate on tiger fangs? Like, are they non-existent now? Is that what happened? I don't know. So that was an EM. How did I not get chain 4 on that? I don't even know. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. But anyway, I'm done for the evening. I didn't get chain 4, but it is what it is. I'm going to say au revoir there. I will be back next Thursday to stream more Beastmaster stuff. I imagine, I'm going to guess, okay? If I had to guess that I'm 68 now, I'm going to gear up. That's going to take me a couple of days. I'll probably work on getting 69 by coming out here 2-3 hours, you know, every so often. I should be 70 or 71 by next Thursday. I'm going to have to do my mat fight, so that may be what I stream next week. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. So thanks for stopping by, guys, and for follows and all that stuff. Happy